afternoon.
I'm going to have to say respectfully, I'm going to disagree.
Okay, why is that?
I don't know.
Here we go, Monday live from the Commerce Casino. Monday Night Football, and go out and press the flesh with Sedano Kap and the birthday girl from over the weekend, producer Lindsay Baseball. The fellas will recap, and yes, Raider fan wants a piece of Sedano. Where was the video, Sedano? I'll tell you who doesn't want a video. Rams fans of Sunday's performance. USC beat Wisconsin. And yes, the road to Roberts' redemption is on. Playoff time. Cappy will give us his usual defense. Oh, Dave Roberts. Let's do it live from Commerce Casino. The LA Afternoon Drive takeover.
A Jerusalem cherry. He likes to lay the wood.
Yeah.
You say Kikuchi.
Wacky forced radio stunt of the year.
Christopher can go to hell.
Oh, nothing worse than the horse. Nah, man, black don't crack.
Benjamin Pratt is like, how do you say his name? Asminger?
Asminger. Hey, these Hard Knocks guys are all over me right now. It's like I'm back in Dayton.
You are a bit killer.
Because you got to talk about sperm.
I'll mount both of you guys. I don't care. Don't mean nothing to me.
Sedano and Cap, your Monday afternoon right now.
Come on. The whole poker room here, it goes crazy.
Pepe's coming later. I saw him at Lakers media today. He told me to be ready, Cappy.
Really?
He's coming after you.
Really? For what?
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I saved his freaking life this weekend.
You did?
Yeah, you didn't hear about this?
I did not.
Without me, Steve Mason isn't here today.
No, Pepe.
Oh, I thought you said Mace.
It's a Pepe.
Oh, because I heard Media Day, and I know
Pepe.
Mason said he was coming over here. Oh, Pepe, I didn't save Pepe's life. I saved Mason's life.
I was very surprised as to how you saved Pepe's life.
No, I saved Mason's life.
That would have been a much better story.
Yeah, way better.
Yeah.
I saved
How did you save
Mason's
life.
Well, I'll tell you what happened, George. So Saturday,
At the USC game.
went to the USC game,
Yeah.
which, by the way, I got to tell you something right now.
Tell me.
You will not enjoy the USC games because of your college football travel.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you something right now.
Tell me.
We take it to the next level at USC games.
Okay.
Like, I always tell everybody that for Laker games, and I know it'll happen this year for Kings games, the 710 suite is the place to be.
Right.
It is the number one party suite in all of Crypto.com. But I'll just say this, that thanks to Deshae Runnels, who really runs the relationship between 710 and USC,
Yeah.
George, we are on the field, in the end zone, entertaining all kinds of partners.
Yeah.
Food, bev.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Those are the tents in the
Right.
the end zone. Yes.
And coverage, which, by the way, I want to say to the USC folks, here's an idea, just a concept. You know what we need at USC is we need a sunscreen partner.
Yeah.
So that
Coppertone.
when you walk in,
Yeah.
people are giving out sunscreen. Like cute girls are giving out sunscreen because, dude, you bake out there.
Yeah.
Not where we were, though.
Yeah.
Because we were under the tent.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's this Dasani water.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like a bottled water.
Right.
It's like those.
Like a box?
No, kind of more like an aluminum
like an aluminum
can.
can. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, dude, Mason goes to open this can.
And he breaks he cuts himself.
Cuts himself like you can't believe. He's going to bleed out like a stuffed pig.
He's a mess.
Dude, he's bleeding like a maniac.
Yeah.
You know? And he's got blood all over his pants. And so, thankfully, how I saved his life was...
You put a tourniquet on?
Well, I didn't. Rachel did.
Oh.
So I brought Rachel, and Rachel mommied him.
Yeah.
You know? And she covered up his cut, and then she went and got soda water to clean off his favorite jeans, his lucky jeans, you know? And again, I mean, listen, there was a time where I thought I was going to have to call paramedics, you know, because he was bleeding.
I mean, there are some right there at the stadium. So.
100% would have been a good place for him. Meaning, like, you know, the paramedics were there on site.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
How did he cut his finger, though?
Well, because, you know, when you turn that thing, sometimes a little bit of the aluminum will stick out.
The aluminum I don't know how, like, who created these aluminum cans now?
Well, they're way
off.
more environmentally friendly than any plastic.
Is that right?
Yeah.
But I've never actually cut myself with them. I mean, there's sometimes there's an edge to it.
But they're hard to open, man. I mean, you got to really...
Well, but that's where you got to open with, like, the palm of your hand.
I think when they get cold and slippery, it's really hard. Yeah. So Mace, although I give him credit, you know, the working out allowed him to be strong enough to actually open it, you know? And so...
Hold on, Mason's texting. I'm suing Dasani, he says.
He is, huh?
Yeah, I almost lost a finger. Cap didn't save my life. It was Rachel.
Yes, that's right. But what I'm saying is where I'm taking credit is that if I didn't bring Rachel...
Right, then it wouldn't have happened.
She wouldn't have been there to
right,
save
he would have
his life.
bled out.
So I...
Because we know Morales wasn't saving her.
No, I was taking credit for saving Mason's life only because I brought Rachel, which, by the way...
The Antichrist.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
And let me just say this. that now, thank goodness, we had so much fun on Saturday at this USC game.
Right.
And by the way, USC, first half, terrible.
Disaster. I was texting you while I was on the flight.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Turnovers,
Yeah.
getting steamrolled. I mean, it was bad.
Yeah.
And in the second half, they made adjustments, especially on defense.
They smoked those fools.
And they came out firing.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anybody saw, but I put a really cool video up on Instagram.
Although Miller Moss took a brutal hit.
Well, I don't know if you saw the touchdown that Miller Moss scored.
Yeah.
I was right there in the end zone. I had like a nice little shot of it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
I got to tell you, George, for somebody who worked sidelines for 20-plus years of NFL games and college games, I would always walk around before games, and I have my microphone and my headphones, and I had all this access. And I would always look at all the people that were partying and all the people that were having fun. And I was like, I'm working. You guys are partying. Well, this weekend, I actually got to be the partying person, not the working person. Guess what? I like the partying person better than being the working person.
Oh, well, there you have it.
It was fun, man. USC game, awesome. The pregame tailgate was amazing. I mean, just all in all, just terrific, man.
Well, I'm glad you guys had a good time. And then, of course, there was a happy ending, obviously.
Very happy ending. Which are we talking about the same thing here?
We're still talking to football.
Oh, you're talking about the game.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Different. Okay, got it. Understood. But anyway, I will just say for me, it was very lucky for me that Rachel had such a great time because now I can always go back to her
Be
and
like,
go,
let's go back to
USC
game.
and she'll be like, oh, yeah, let's go, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And they had tequila shots going for everybody.
Nice.
I mean, it was crazy, man. It was fun.
I love it, Kevin.
Really good.
Yeah.
Way to go, SC. That was a good win. That was a really good win, and it did not look good in the first half.
Oh, it was a mess. So I get on the plane, and I get I got TV on the plane. So I'm American.
Wait, which airline was it?
American.
Okay.
Yeah, after my disaster episode with them a week ago. But
you went back to them, huh?
Well, I needed a direct.
Yeah, they're the only ones that fly direct to like the Charlotte area.
Well, no, this was Boston.
Oh, that's right.
And this was more about like convenience because I could have stayed in Boston until like 7:30 or 8 and flown and then got home at midnight, or I take the flight at 5:30 from Boston and get home at 8 o'clock. You know what I mean?
All right.
So I'm taking the earlier flight. But it was a lovely flight, and our crew was from L.A., so they're very nice.
Mm-hmm.
And but they've got on your devices, whether it's your laptop or your iPad or your phone, they've got a bunch of channels, particularly just for football. And on Saturdays, there's a lot of college football on all these channels. They design it specifically for this. So I watched every game pretty much on the flight back. Like I saw the second half of the USC game, and then I was flipping around to the other games, and then I was watching the Georgia-Alabama game, which was insane. And then I even watched a little of the Utah-Arizona game, which was pretty insane on when I got back home. So, and UCLA too.
You didn't watch Boise State, Washington State?
I did not watch Boise State, Washington State. That was CW.
But let me tell you something. Boise State, and you only know the reason I only watch is because my daughter went to school there, so I'm sort of invested. Dude, Boise State has a running back.
Oh yeah, he did. Gianti?
Something like that?
Yeah.
Like that. I don't know that people
He's
really...
not going to be... He could be like a Heisman candidate.
100% should be.
Yeah.
Like, I know people probably won't realize it.
No, he is. He's going to be. Probably.
He might be...
He might be a finalist.
And Boise could be this year maybe that group of 5.
Could be.
Them
or JMU maybe. Like, we'll see.
Because it's funny you say about watching all these games. I'm on my way back from USC, right? And I'm driving back, and I probably had, even though Mace almost cut his entire wrist off with the Dasani bottle, I drank about 12 of those Dasani bottles during the day.
Yeah, you had to. It's too hot.
Really be hydrated.
Yeah.
So I'm driving home, and I get to San Clemente. And I get off the exit at San Clemente.
Wait, say it again?
San Clemente.
Okay.
Why, what's up?
I just wanted to hear, because I thought it was like the way you said it, it sounded like one word.
Well, yeah.
San Clemente.
Like fight on.
Like, it wasn't like, well, oh, and by the way, did you see my homage to you this weekend? Did you see my homage to you this weekend?
I
did not. Chris and I shot a video at the pregame tailgate at USC.
Yeah.
And we're doing like this whole Coors Light thing.
Yeah.
And at the end, he's going, "Fight on, sucker!" And I'm going, "Fight on,
Fight on.
fight on." Yeah.
Fight
Come on,
on.
how could you not see that?
Lindsay, you're living in infamy now.
Even the second one, at least I put some emphasis on it.
That was more
you know?
cheerleady. That was like,
Yeah.
fight on.
Fight on.
And
There it is.
so I stop in San Clemente,
You're
not
like
Roberto
the top
Clemente.
of the pyramid there on the
San Clemente.
Yeah.
And it's not San Clemente, right?
home of Sam Darnold.
Right. And brother to Roberto. And so I stop in San Clemente, right? And I pull into this little bar because I got to pee like a mofo.
Yeah.
I pull into this little bar. I walk in. I act like I'm like looking at the bar, like I'm going to order something. I'm like, oh, let me find the men's room. So then I go and I pee, right?
You make
Right.
I love that you play this out.
Right.
Like you have to act like you're gonna
Right.
get
I'm acting like I'm going to buy something. Like I'm acting like I'm walking in for a beer, but in actuality, I'm just stopping for a restroom.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I walk in. I look around. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll have should I have a Coors Light? Okay, maybe I'll have a Tito's soda. Where's the men's room? And they point. I go over. I do my business. I come back. Right. I'm now standing there and I'm looking at the TV. And I mean, Alabama is putting a beat down on Georgia.
Yeah, they were.
They are killing them.
But Nick Saban, to his credit, I don't know if you could see the halftime. He went on at halftime. And you would think, like, now it's weird for him because obviously he coached Alabama, but Kirby Smart was one of his guys, was one of his coordinators. He went on national television and said, this game is not over. This game is going to be close by the end of it.
That part I did not catch. So now, by the time I get from San Clemente back down to South L.A.,
Yeah,
and
it's a
turn,
game.
and I turn the game on, I want to say it's like 41-38 or whatever
yeah.
the score was. I'm like, what the hell happened?
Georgia took the lead for 13 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and by the way, it's so awesome.
Yeah.
If you see any of the social media videos where the Georgia sideline explodes,
Yeah.
like we've made this massive comeback, and then in a matter of moments, like Alabama's sideline
Explode.
explodes.
Yeah.
By the way, Alabama got that kid you and I started talking about a few weeks ago,
Ryan
that
Williams.
17-year-old wide
Yeah.
receiver.
Yeah.
If that guy were playing
70 yards. Yeah.
177 yards receiving. Yeah. If that guy was playing high school football right now,
Yeah.
who could possibly cover that guy?
Nobody.
He got grown men that can't cover him.
Yeah. It's crazy.
In fact, I'll tell you guys right now, just a sneak preview.
Tell me.
Tomorrow, when I get to my top 10,
Yeah.
Alabama might have made my top 10 this
I
week.
thought your top 10 is on Wednesdays.
Well, whatever day it is.
Yeah. Wednesday, Cap.
Anyway, whatever day it is.
Yeah. So you had a good time at USC?
SC was amazing.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody at SC.
Were you worried about Miller Moss? Because Maeva almost came into the game for a second.
I did not see that, mostly because...
Yeah, I mean, Brad Nessler and Gary Danielson were talking about how he was warming up and looked like he was about to get in the game.
Mostly because it's kind of like being at a Laker game.
Yeah, you're kind of far away. You can't really see as well because you're on the ground.
And you're not really like
hanging.
intently watching the game.
You're hanging.
Because I was in the tent, and I was also watching Colorado against Central Florida.
Yeah, which was also a good game.
I thought
for
Central
Colorado.
Florida was going to beat Colorado.
Yeah,
all of a
they
sudden,
were 12.5-point dogs.
Colorado's come back in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
You know,
They look Coach Prime.
I got to give
Do
it up
you
to Coach
believe?
Prime. I don't.
Do you believe?
I do not believe.
Okay.
I do not believe in Coach Prime.
Coach Prime going to win 8 games.
You used to be the only one who did believe in him.
I know, and now I've given up on Coach Prime.
And now he knows that.
Are
Right.
you anti-Coach Prime?
I'm anti like Shador. Like I've grown to not like them.
Yeah.
You know. So now I'm kind of opposed to these.
He's not
guys.
very likable.
Yeah, but nonetheless, here's what I can't wait to see what happens is when Coach Prime gets done at the end of the season, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm done. I'm done here. My kid's leaving for the NFL. My other kid, Travis Hunter, he's leaving for the NFL. My work here is done."
Yeah.
There's no way Coach Prime coaches beyond.
I would be surprised.
That's what I think.
Do you think he'll retire completely?
Oh, no.
Like from coaching, or he'll go to like FSU, right?
Well, they're not going to fire their coach after they just gave him like $10 million a year for like
Crazier things have happened.
No, but they just gave him that deal in the offseason for like 5 years or 6 years or something like that. They're not they're trying to scrounge money together, try to get out of the ACC, which isn't going to happen.
Yeah.
They don't have enough money to do that. They're going to have them pay a coach too, $60 million or whatever that they're going to owe.
It's like fire him.
Yeah.
And stay in the ACC, or keep him and spend the money on getting out of it. Nonetheless, I just say this: SC, great win, incredible performance. It is so awesome that 7-10 and SC are reunited, and
it feels so good.
It feels so good. It really does.
Yeah.
It really does.
All right, so we could talk more about the actual game a little bit. Let's talk about the Rams.
Okay.
Caleb's revenge.
Okay.
Right? We'll get into that. Although, Matt Stafford, I thought Matt Stafford, was gonna lead him back for a moment there, but Matt Stafford, I'm not putting it all on him. There's a lot of factors that roll into some of those plays that were not made on behalf of the Rams. We can get into that a little bit, get into the NFL weekend.
Oh, because the worm has turned again,
The worm has turned, but we all pushed. Like I told you we would.
Yeah, but I tried to explain to
But
everybody.
they were going to lose to Kansas City. Who didn't think that?
I know a couple people that actually were delirious enough to think that the Chargers were going to beat the Chiefs.
No. I like them plus the points.
Yeah, but the worm has turned again, just so we're clear.
Yeah, but 2-2, you're right in it. You're right in it.
You're right there with the Raiders and with the Broncos.
You're right in it.
I was going to say, it's a bad thing when the Chargers are 2-2, but then it's a good thing when the Raiders are 2-2.
Raiders and Broncos.
So I heard Morales. I'll get to the Raider fan in a second. I'll get to you in a second because y'all are dopies. You don't even listen to the show. Keep up with the show is what I would say. You know how there's the keep up with the Kardashians? Keep up with Sedano and Cap. How about that?
I like that idea.
All right, we'll do that next. We're here at Commerce, 710 ESPN.
And yes, it is a Monster Reaction Monday right here on 710 ESPN and the all-new
Hey,
ESPN
football fans, there is nothing sweeter than a cold glass of Stella Rosa and watching your team compete. But Stella Rosa wants to make it even sweeter and hook you up with the chance to win an experience to the biggest game of the college football season. You could win 2 tickets to the game, airfare, and a hotel for you and a friend. Head over to ESPNLADreamTicket.com to enter the Dream Ticket Sweepstakes presented by Stella Rosa, America's favorite semi-sweet, semi-sparkling wine. Please celebrate responsibly. Must be 21 or older to enter.
Seller's Advantage. They'll make you a great cash offer with no need for repairs. They buy it as is. With Seller's Advantage, there are no agents. They can close within days, and they buy with cash. They'll even offer a $10,000 advance to help with moving costs and other expenses. Check out their reviews online and call for a no-obligation offer at 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-2747, and visit sellersadvantage.com.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Join Mason and Ireland Wednesday, October 2nd from noon to 3 at Ralph's on Hawthorne Boulevard in Redondo Beach. Come see Lakers legend James Worthy for a meet and greet and enter ESPN LA's Ultimate Winery Sweepstakes for a wine country experience at Francis Ford Coppola Winery.
Hey guys, it's Sedano here. You know it's hard to find a good dentist for your kids, someone who they can trust and enjoy going to the dentist with. Luckily, we found Children's Dental Fun Zone. With 17 locations across Southern California, Children's Dental Fun Zone specializes in children's dentistry and orthodontics. With state-of-the-art equipment and personal attention your children deserve. To book your child's next appointment, visit their website, cdfzone.com. That's cdfzone.com. Or call them at 800-717-KIDS. That's 800-717-KIDS.
Come to Carden Alleyway Hyundai and lease a new 2025 Hyundai Elantra SC for only $189 a month plus tax for 36 months, or $199% APR for 60 months, your choice. Plus, get peace of mind driving with America's best warranty. Carden Alleyway Hyundai just off the 91 freeway, or CardenAlleyWayHyundai.com. Lease for $189 plus tax, license and fee to well-qualified buyers. 36-month lease, 10K miles per year, $29.99 due at signing. 1.99% APR at $28.64 per $1,000 finance. Not all buyers will qualify. Subject to HMF credit approval. Expires 9/30/2024.
Hey football fans, with BetMGM's Second Chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to gamble responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements. Partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Last year's RV trip, we met a couple with the same bumper sticker. What are the odds?
Your cousin isn't a good storyteller.
He was a podiatrist, or was it a pharmacist?
You don't say.
Oh, I can't remember.
But she owns an RV protected by Progressive, and you don't. So until you get your own RV, her stories are the most interesting stories you've ever heard.
Wow, interesting.
And when you do get your own RV, save money by bundling it with your home, auto, or other vehicles with Progressive.
Oh, anesthesiologist. He was an anesthesiologist.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
And it is Sedano and Kap live from the Commerce Casino on this Monday afternoon. Get on out there, press the flesh with the crew, win fabulous prizes, a lot of cheap food, and the Sedano Sling on this Monster Reaction Monday. You can also get Michelob Ultra at Commerce Casino. Thanks to Michelob Ultra for making a Monster Reaction Monday possible. Right here on 710 ESPN.
Here at Commerce, hang out with us. Have a Sedano Sling. It's got tequila mandala in it.
I'm so impressed with everybody who's here at Commerce Casino right now.
Yeah.
Because I usually pull in around like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 2:15, whatever it is. And the casino is freaking packed, man.
Yeah.
And I don't even walk on the casino floor, so I just assume that everybody here is playing poker.
Yeah.
You know? But, man, it is just packed. Like, people play all day long. It's Monday, people. And they're like, yeah, we're here playing.
It's crazy. Like,
It is-
let's go crazy.
it is crazy.
Like the number one hit today yesterday, 1984.
Wait, I have to jump in here and say, did you guys see the what I sent in the group chat about the Prince Airbnb?
Mm-hmm. I did see that.
I want to try. I know it's probably near impossible, but it's like a raffle type thing where it goes up for quote unquote sale.
Where is that?
It's in Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Okay.
Minnesota. And it looks very, like from the outside, it's like, it's just a regular house, but on the inside, it's all like Prince themed. And then it's hosted by, I forget who it was.
Oh, Sheila E?
Yeah. I think
Don't you know the story of Carlos Boozer renting a house to Prince and
Yeah.
like, Prince
he painted
it all purple
Yeah.
inside?
Wait, Carlos Boozer did what?
Owned a house that Prince rented.
Why did
from him.
Prince rent a house?
Because he wanted to live there.
He wanted to live wherever it was Boozer owned this house. I
Okay.
don't remember where. It
All
might
right.
have been. It might have been in Florida somewhere.
Really?
And Prince painted the house purple.
The entire house
and then
purple.
Left it.
Yeah.
And then when he left it, it was all purple.
Nice.
Yeah, it's nuts. Former Laker Carlos Boozer.
But if I get in on the Airbnb thing on the Prince house, we need to take like a show trip out there.
Well, other than DeAndre, who won't watch Purple Rain.
Right.
So as long as DeAndre is without Purple Rain, he can't come.
Okay, sounds good.
I mean, no, you watch the movie. Go watch the movie and then report back, and then you can go.
All right, I will.
No, you don't want to watch that movie.
You don't, DeAndre. It's okay. Cappy.
Talk to me.
What do you have to say about the Rams' performance yesterday?
Well,
disappointing would be one word, right?
Yeah, not surprising would be another.
No, I don't
phrase.
think anything. Honestly, win or loss, none of it should be surprising at this point.
Well, I mean, look,
because of their situation.
The Rams are, and you and I had this conversation on Friday of last week. This is why I took the Bears minus the 3 points in the game.
Yeah.
Because the Bears were a significantly more healthy team than the Rams.
Yeah.
And when you look at teams,
Dato data.
It worked. Listen, when you look at teams like the Rams, and I'm going to make some other examples here in a second. The Rams' offensive line was so beat up in the preseason, and it's still not put back together yet. And it may never get put back together. So when you look at teams like the Rams, Lindsay, your Cleveland Browns, their offensive line is a disaster. Okay? My New England Patriots. Okay, George, think about this. Think about being an NFL team. It's Tuesday, and you legitimately do not have anybody on your roster to play left tackle, so you have to go pick up somebody who'd recently been released by somebody else's practice squad, not somebody else's starter, not somebody else's backup, a guy who gets released from the practice squad, who's at home, like munching Doritos or whatever, and that guy is all of a sudden 3 days, 4 days later, he's the starting left tackle going up against Nick Bosa in an NFL game. I mean, when you are a team like the Rams or the Patriots or the Browns, and I'll bet you that there are other fan bases out there that are going, you're forgetting about my team. Probably
How
I
about
am.
the Chargers?
Chargers that's a good example. I mean, you have two tackles. Your two starting tackles, both first-round talents, are both out, and you're going to send a one-legged quarterback out on the field?
Yeah. And they still almost did it.
Well, they did because they got very lucky early in the game to create turnovers, which, by the way, it's very rare that an NFL game has a team that wins the turnover battle and wins the time of possession battle and loses the game.
Right.
And when you go to the Rams, they lost the turnover battle.
Yeah.
And that will tell you a lot of the time the story of the game. Because let me tell you something right now about Caleb Williams. Terrible. And maybe he'll be good. Maybe he'll be good.
No, I think he will be. I think it's just their offensive line, even when healthy, is not good.
But his problem is not their offensive line.
No, he's trying to do the things he did at USC, and you can't do that stuff in the NFL.
If you're in the NFL and you're a quarterback, take it from me, I know this stuff. Okay? If you're a quarterback, what are you laughing at? If you're in the NFL and you get the ball, sit, blue 22, blue 22, right? And the
What are
ball.
you, the water boy?
Well, no, that was my.
What do you sound like?
Well, that was me. I mean, I was just doing the,
You sound like it.
Blue 24, red, black, red 24.
Omaha.
Sit, hit. When you. I know I'm scaring the hell out
This
of
guy
people
was
here.
looking at you like
the
you were-
conference,
He's like,
what the
this
hell
guy's
is
like,
going on?
What is the deal here?
They thought you were having like some sort of like coronary
Right.
aneurysm.
I may be. When you're an NFL quarterback and the ball is snapped and you have the ball and you drop back, 1, 2, 3,
Go.
throw.
Yeah, you got 2.5 seconds max to throw the ball.
If you hold the ball and you look around, hey, he doesn't look open, Hey, I don't want to throw the ball to that guy. Hey, that guy.
Yeah, it's over.
You get destroyed.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams, at this stage of his career, doesn't have that proverbial clock in his head.
Internal clock.
You know why?
Why?
Because in high school and in college,
he could get away with his athleticism.
Correct.
Yeah.
Gosh, you're like finishing my sentences.
We're like a married couple.
We're like, I mean, like you're in my head over here.
Yeah.
You know?
Meanwhile, Matt Stafford did not play great either.
Nope.
Yeah. The Bears defense did a much better job in this game. The Rams offensive line could not hold up. And I didn't love the interception early in the game cost them, obviously, where they had, a very brief lead at 6-0.
Yep.
But in a perfect world, they should have been up 13-0.
And just all the little things, get kind of sloppy. I mean, just in a field goal operation, George.
Yeah.
When a snapper snaps the ball and the holder catches the ball,
yeah.
You have practiced this so many times.
Right.
That when the ball comes to the holder's hands and he puts the ball down, the laces are already going the direction where they should be going.
Right.
Because the revolution of the ball is the same every time.
Revolutions.
Because you're supposed to be at the exact same distance.
I'll bring it back, like Prince in the Revolution.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nicely done. Yeah. The missed field goal. I mean, that is a...
Yeah.
In the NFL, a 43-yard field goal...
That's very makeable.
...is a 99% proposition.
Right.
And when the ball is put down and the lacers are going the other direction and the ball has a strange, flight rotation.
Laces out, Dan.
That's it.
Yeah.
Mark Sanchez must have said that like 10 times when
Laces out, Dan?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So just little sloppy things along the way just killed the Rams in this game. And I was just about to look up, because as I recall watching during the game, feeling like there were more penalties than I normally. So I'm just going to find that just to make sure I'm getting that right. But, the turnover battle, that's kind of the key to a lot of it.
Yeah.
Turnovers 2-0 in favor of the Bears.
Yeah. I feel like we should, what we should do? We should have a segment every week.
Tell me.
Where you do Gruden giving us analysis on a particular game.
I should do that.
Yeah.
Start working on that a little bit.
And be like, I tell you what, man, there are 2 turnovers there with the Bears.
Tell you what, man, you look at the Rams, they got 322 yards, man, compared to Chicago's 264, but they lost the turnover battle 2-0. I mean, they still had more time of possession. They had more first downs. That's a winnable game, man.
That's pretty good.
See?
And then we could sell it like we have Gruden on every week.
The problem is that when I go too long with Gruden, the whole time I'm holding my breath.
Yeah.
So by the time I get to the end of talking about Gruden, man, I'll tell you what, I'm out of breath, man.
Yeah.
You
Do you think that he would come on our show?
Gruden?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get him on. We'll get him on our show.
For sure.
Because, I mean, he's trying to get back into coaching.
I mean, try.
And you could just be like, hey, do you know so-and-so? Because if you're in the ACC, I know you, bro.
I do know you, bro.
Because you know everyone.
Bro. Bill O'Brien knew who I was. I didn't realize he was such a consumer of ESPN television.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What did Bill O'Brien have to say for himself?
Why not introduce him? He said, I know who you are.
You don't have to tell me who you are, mother effer.
I was like, whoa.
Did he bring it in?
He did bring it in.
Oh, that's lovely.
You got everyone bringing it in these days.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting it, though, from Bill O'Brien. Bill O'Brien, by the way, wears a suit to walk through on Fridays.
Okay, I'll buy that.
Because he wants to tell everyone, show everyone it means business.
It's business. This is business time. I'm not in some sweatsuit.
Yeah.
I'm not in a pair of shorts and a pair of sneakers. This is business.
It was impressive. But nonetheless, Cappy.
Talk to me.
Yeah, the Rams, man. It still may be one of those really tough seasons. If they can hover around the 500 area, I still feel like the NFC, there's going to be playoff spots up for grabs because it's just not as good as the AFC. Like, look at what Baltimore's doing right now. By the way, I texted you guys this in the group chat yesterday. The fact that John Harbaugh, brother of Jim, did not utilize Derrick Henry properly in those first 2 games, particularly when they had a 10-point lead against the Raiders.
I know.
I mean, that is coaching malpractice. Look what Derrick Henry did yesterday. That guy had nearly 200 yards.
199 total yards. He had 85 yards on that first play.
Oh, yeah.
Which was amazing.
Nuts. You see how fast he ran?
And I love the comparison that they were making during the game broadcast to Dickerson because he's such a straight up and down kind of runner.
Right. I mean, but he's way bigger than Eric Dickerson.
He's just a monster. He's a freaking beast.
And the thought process was, he's past 30 years old now, big back, has got a lot of carries. He's not going to be the same guy. This is going to be like, like Emmitt Smith with the Cardinals or something. No way, bro. This guy's ready to rock still.
Emmitt Smith played for the Cardinals?
Yeah, you don't remember that?
I didn't even know that.
Oh, yeah, don't you remember the end of his career? He left the Cowboys, and he wanted to try and get to the all-time rushing mark, most yards ever rushed by a running back.
Past Walter Payton, right.
And so he wound up going to the Cardinals, not because he was looking to win. He was just looking to pad his stats.
Yeah.
I mean, at that time, the Cardinals were so bad.
Atrocious.
There was no winning at all.
Yeah.
So, listen, here's the thing about the Rams. just to get back to it for a second. Look, Chicago's defense is pretty good.
Not bad, yeah. They're pretty good.
They're pretty good.
They're a top 10 defense.
They put a lot of pressure on Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
There wasn't a ton of rushing in this game. Like it's not like there was something special that happened in this game or a big run.
No.
You cannot win football games in the NFL when you don't have an offensive line. You can have a great coach, Rams have it, check. You can have a great quarterback, Rams have it, check.
Yeah.
You can have great receivers, they've got them, they're all hurt.
Yeah.
Okay?
I thought both teams ran the ball fairly well, but not to your point. There wasn't like one of these like crazy runs where I was like, I guess Swift had one that was for like 30-something yards. But, there wasn't a lot of those explosive runs.
Yeah, I mean, Kyron Williams, look, when you look at the numbers today, you're like, hey, you got 19 carries.
Right, but the longest
yards.
run was 14 yards.
Right, I mean, it just was
grinding it out.
Right. Again, thank you.
Yeah.
Just really nice job.
I'm here for you.
You're in my head.
I'm here for you.
You know what I mean? You're like, it's kind of like when I'm watching a game from home and you're watching a game from somewhere else and you're always 15 seconds ahead of me.
Yeah.
You're like just a couple of seconds ahead of me right now. So like I know that I'm about to say something.
I thought you were going to say when you're at home watching me do a game, like you finish my sentences when you're watching me do a game.
like when I'm broadcasting from South and you're broadcasting from downtown.
Right, and we're watching a game.
And we're watching a game and you're always 15 seconds ahead of me. Yeah. Like right now in this conversation, like I'm about to say something, but you say it like 3 seconds ahead of me.
Look who's here.
Oh, my God.
The great Pepe Mantilla.
Pepe.
But let's go to break because the great Pepe Mantilla is here. But first, let's talk about Prize Picks, Cappy. So that's it. The Caleb Square for half a yard is over now.
Free square done.
You've taken advantage of that in September. It was a blast for sure. And look, on Prize Picks, you can win up to 100 times your money with as little as 4 correct picks. If you want action in the state of California, Prize Picks is the way to go, Cap.
I want to tell you, George, that I was a little upset with you yesterday.
Why?
Because I had a six-player play going.
Right.
Miller Moss, more than 1.5 touchdown passes, check.
Right. Oh, for the weekend, you're saying.
Nafisa Collier.
Yeah.
Dude, you told me to go more than 23.5 points. She got to 19. I listened to you like
that was the only one I got wrong, though.
No.
Because I got Asia right.
You did get Asia Wilson
I said
right.
less on Asia.
You said less than 24.5 points. She got to 21. My big play of the weekend was the quarterback from Nebraska, Dylan Raiola.
Yeah.
Putting him together with Patrick Mahomes for the two of them to combine for more than 482.5 passing yards. Combined, they had 489.
Wow.
But Derek Carr killed me. Derek Carr absolutely killed me.
I mean, what would Derek Carr say about
Derek Carr's like, hey, man, I told you, man. I told y'all I was going to pass for more than 206.5 passing yards on Prize Picks, man. Come on, man. And so anyway, he killed me. But I'm going to come back for more today because you do have 2 Monday Night Football games. I didn't get in on this Braves-Mets game, but I'm coming back for more, George. And I would encourage everybody listening to download the Prize Picks app, use our code CAPPY, K-A-P-P-Y, make a $5 play. You get the $50 bonus whether you win or you lose.
Oh, I love it, Cappy. And, of course, listen, if you want it, we love a good community around here. They've got communities as well. You can play with Drewski, who was on College Game Day this weekend. Did you see him on College Game Day?
Drewski.
Yeah, he was there. He was doing. He was actually we were making like cocktails, and he was one of the guys making cocktails there at College Game Day. And then, of course, Sugar Sean O'Malley at the UFC. A lot of people, a lot of different communities. You can take part in that on Prize Picks as well.
All right, so here's what I want you to do. Download Prize Picks, use our code CAPPY, K-A-P-P-Y, make that $5 play. You get the $50 bonus.
$50!
Let's play together. Let's win together, and let's do it on
Prize Picks.
The most followed sports radio
Hey, football
station.
fans, there is nothing sweeter than a cold glass of Stella Rosa and watching your team compete. But Stella Rosa wants to make it even sweeter and hook you up with the chance to win and experience to the biggest game of the college football season. You could win 2 tickets to the game, airfare, and a hotel for you and a friend. Head over to ESPNLADreamTicket.com to enter the Dream Ticket Sweepstakes presented by Stella Rosa, America's favorite semi-sweet, semi-sparkling wine. Please celebrate responsibly. Must be 21 or older to enter. Rosa can be found at your local retailer, so remember to grab a couple bottles next time you shop. Nothing sweeter than a cold glass of Stella Rosa and watching your team compete. Please celebrate responsibly.
Park, party, and play at Hollywood Park Casino. Join Travis Rogers and Kirk Morrison Sunday, October 6th for their live Rams postgame show from Ray's Lounge at Hollywood Park Casino. Win prizes and party with Travis, Kirk, and ESPN LA fans. Hollywood Park Casino is Los Angeles' premier card room casino and entertainment destination. Enjoy a postgame meal and drink at Ray's Lounge right after the game. Park, party, and play at Hollywood Park Casino. Elevate your game. Must be 21 and older. This is the Rams Report. Here's Travis Rogers.
After the first 4 weeks of the season, the Rams find themselves in a very serious hole after a 24-18 loss to the Chicago Bears drops their record to 1-3. The Rams dominated in just about every statistical category that there is, getting more first downs than the Bears, getting better on third down than the Bears, more total yards, more offensive plays, and more yardage per play. But the categories that matter the most, turnovers, 2 for the Rams, none for the Chicago Bears, and of course, on the scoreboard at 24-18. Kyron Williams, a good day on the ground, 19 carries, 94 yards. He did get into the end zone for a 7th consecutive game, averaging nearly 5 yards per play. Ronnie Rivers doing a good job on the ground as well. 6 carries, 26 yards, just a little over 4 yards per carry. The Rams drop to 1-3. Up next, the Green Bay Packers at SoFi Stadium. With Monday's Rams Report, I'm Travis Rogers.
That's today's Rams Report on your home of Rams football, 710 ESPN.
Are you ready to build your company's dream team? Just like in sports, finding skilled players is essential for success. With Robert Half's winning combination of specialized recruiting professionals and award-winning AI, we'll help you find the MVPs and key role players who will have you hanging banners in the rafters. Because in business, it's all about having the experienced team on your side. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com today.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
And it is Sedano Kap Monday afternoon. Remember, you can stream the show on video, so you can see all the fun and frivolity anytime on our YouTube channel at ESPN Los Angeles during 3 to 6 p.m. with Sedano Kap. And if you miss a moment, the podcast, always easy, on the all-new ESPN LA app. Right now, back to Commerce Casino for Monday Night Football, and back to Sedano and Kap.
Oh, no, it's not Lionel Richie. Is it? No.
Not Lionel Richie.
Baby.
Getting a couple of...
Marvin Gaye.
Marvin Gaye, that's right. Marvin Gaye, that's right. Thank you. Getting a couple of tweets here in the Circle of Trust already, because I told the story about driving south from the SC game, getting off the freeway at San Clemente, and having to pee really quickly, and walking into this bar.
Right.
And people want to know where. And one guy, Daniel Jagers, who's a great Sedano and Kap listener, says, did you stop by the Outrigger Tavern? And the answer is yes.
That's where you stopped?
That's exactly where I stopped, at the Outrigger Tavern.
Oh, that's funny.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then Cambone says, where'd you stop at San Clemente? It's my town. I was in your hood, dog.
Yeah.
There I was. Could you feel my energy?
Yeah.
I'm sure you could.
Cappy.
Yes, sir.
The great Omar Lopez is here to commemorate a Raiders victory this weekend. It's so funny. Speaking of the community and the circle of trust, I the game is over. I had stuff going on yesterday, so I'm watching games.
You weren't gardening yesterday?
No, I wasn't gardening, but they were asking about my gardening, and it's so funny because I didn't think. You always say everybody listens.
Everybody listens.
So I thought when we did our picks against the spread, remember what I said? I said, I'm going to do something Raider fan is going to be surprised by, and I picked the Raiders in our picks against the spread. It was my 3, as a matter of fact. I said, a home dog, the Raiders? What are we talking about here? Cleveland's not good. So I picked the Raiders as my number 3 pick, And all of a sudden, I see all these, Sedano, what are you guarding today? What are you doing? And I just had to quote tweet one of them. I was like, you guys, are you not paying attention here? I picked your team this weekend.
Listening is something that everybody does. Paying attention
is not a
is something that only half the people
It's
do.
like a subcategory.
Right, exactly.
Thank you, Dr. Thank you.
Thank you, Pepe.
Yeah, Pepe's here.
Pepe, nice to see you. And by the way, that is a great-looking Lakers jacket.
Thank you very
People
much.
can be watching on YouTube.
It's actually it's a jacket. It's like a warm-up.
Yes, it's a warm-up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got on like a tank top underneath there, like a Magic Johnson jersey or
No,
anything?
that's what Magic and Michael Thompson used to wear back in the day.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
What you got on underneath there?
Just a regular T-shirt.
Oh, okay. Because, I mean, a
You
Lakers...
wanted me to tell you what color my underwear is?
Okay, what color?
Black.
Oh, not purple?
Me too. Mine are also black.
Purple and gold.
Mine are black just in case of an emergency.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
exactly.
You understand, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw Pepe at Media Day.
Okay.
He was there. Ireland, Mason and Ireland were there. Gregory Arthur Bergman was there.
Yes.
Beto Duran was there.
I heard
Talking
that.
to Bronny.
Yes, I
Yeah.
heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah, media day today for the Lakers. So I don't actually know this. You probably do. I'm sure it was talked about today. When does training camp officially open?
Tomorrow.
Really? Tomorrow. And where are they staying at the facility in El Segundo? Because last year, didn't they go down to like the University of San Diego? Didn't they have like a week down there? Or
No, that was the LeBron thing.
Was that the before
Yeah.
camp? Okay. All right, so everything's just at the facility.
Yeah, and then they go and play in...
A lot of road games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they play over in...
Phoenix. They play in Milwaukee.
Milwaukee
They play
and,
Golden State.
In
Vegas.
Palm Springs.
Oh, Palm
and
Springs,
Vegas.
that's right.
At
That's right.
Acrisure.
They play Golden
out by,
State
out
in
by Big
Vegas.
D.
Yeah.
Vegas, yeah.
Yeah, that Palm Springs, that arena out there is very nice.
I haven't been there.
Oh, yeah. A buddy of mine just invited me the other day to an Eric Clapton concert out there. But this radio
Layla.
show gets in the way of, like, weekday concerts and things.
Really?
You know? It does indeed.
Oh, yeah.
I know. Unless maybe I go out there and I broadcast from there. You know, maybe I ask Eric Clapton if I can use the
Yeah,
green room.
that'll be... And
You
you
know?
can
During
even...
his sound check.
Yeah.
You can even ask him to borrow his guitar.
Yeah. You know, I mean, do you mind if I jam a little
And
bit?
you can say, they call me Maurice, and I can play the guitar.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that, and also maybe I could ask Eric Clapton if I could play the bass a little bit.
All right.
During the show.
Because you do
Right. I don't really play the bass, but I do it with my mouth. You know, air bass.
Air bass.
Yes,
air
that's
bass.
right. Air
Important.
bass.
So at Media Day, everybody was there.
Right, except me.
Except you, Cappy.
Yep, wasn't there.
You were not there.
No, sir.
I was there representing us.
Okay, good
You
job.
should go. You should go next year. It's nice.
Okay, I will go. What's the date next year? I'll put on my calendar right
It's
now.
probably around the same Monday.
Around the same time.
First Monday.
Because I'm starting to get a little more organized in my life. You know what I mean? I'm starting to put things on my calendar.
He is.
6 months, 12 months
I
out.
feel like this was my influence
It
on
is.
him.
Wait, can we have a discussion about this?
Go ahead.
Cappy sent. I don't know. I don't think you were on this. Was George on the email?
I don't know.
I don't
Let me
think
look.
so.
Okay, so Cappy sent his holiday vacation dates today.
Well, he talked about this last week about doing it. He hadn't done it
He
yet.
did it, and then he also gave us dates for 2025.
I love it.
His summer vacation.
I have rubbed off on you.
After what you did last summer, and this after taking off 6 months this past summer, the way you did,
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I'm taking off 6 months too. So I've already booked it. And I asked Morales, I said, when are the Mandy's? And he said, tentatively scheduled for the 28th of June. And I'm like, well, then keep it on the 28th of June because I'm making my plans before that.
Right.
So listen, you have rubbed off on me in a very positive
Good.
way.
I'm glad. Get yourself organized.
Yeah.
Cappy.
And now I've already got on my calendar for September 30th, 2025,
Yeah.
Lakers Media Day.
There you go.
There you go.
Look at that.
Very good.
Yeah.
And then Jorge. So the Raiders are going to go to the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, now all of a sudden they're going to the Super Bowl. Yeah,
Right.
look at all these Raider fans.
And by the
over
way,
here.
you want to know who the Raiders are going to beat in the AFC Championship game when they go to the Super Bowl?
The Chargers.
No, not the Chargers. Come on, the Chargers aren't even going to be 500. No, not the Ravens. The Jets, guys, the Jets. Come on. I mean, just so what that Aaron Rodgers and the Jets could only muster 9 points against the Denver Broncos.
But you were sitting there saying he was Green Bay Aaron Rodgers last week.
Right. Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, let's be clear about one thing. That is why the NFL, no one can figure it out because every week something happens and you're like, wait a second. How did that happen? How could Aaron Rodgers be Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay version, running, throwing on the run, deep balls, tight spirals, good legs, making plays with his feet? How could he do that? And then this week, you got a team that's got a rookie quarterback that had like -7 yards passing in the first half, and the Broncos somehow win this game. Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. Come on, guys. It's embarrassing already.
But it's not the only one. The whole thing is crazy. The Raiders win, then they lose, then they win, then they lose. And same thing with Philly.
That's
Philly
what
losing.
That's what the NFL likes: win and then lose.
But you know, you mentioned Philly. Philly doesn't have any of their top receivers, and Tampa Bay. You're trying to figure out how Tampa Bay can beat up on Philadelphia when the week before at home they get beat up on by Denver.
Yeah,
like you cannot.
Maybe the
figure
Denver
out-
Broncos are better than people thought they were.
Maybe they are. Maybe they'll finish.
Maybe Sean is got something going over there.
Maybe they'll finish second in the AFC West.
Probably not.
In
but
front of the Raiders and in front of the Chargers.
We'll see.
The worm has turned.
Cappy.
Yes.
Coming up next.
Tell me.
Okay. Let's get to the worm turning.
Okay.
Let's get a little more in-depth on the Raiders' victory against a decrepit Browns franchise.
And a lot of Browns fans seem
tons.
pissed. Seem pissed because they feel like the Raiders got a break on the long touchdown pass.
Yeah, I don't know if they got a break. Do you think they got a break? Well, let's talk. Hold on. Hold your thought. We'll do it on the other side. Plus, I want to talk about Lakers Media Day a little bit since Pepe was there and I was there. And there was something I texted in the group that I found fascinating. And it wasn't LeBron and it wasn't AD, but it was D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell with the line of the day that made me just go, All right, we'll get into all that. We're at Commerce, hanging out, 710 ESPN.
And yes, it is a Monster Reaction Monday right here on 710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app. What's on tap today? Thanks to Michelob Ultra. 6 o'clock tonight, hear what Coach Lincoln Riley has to say about Saturday's win over Wisconsin. Trojans Live. Followed at 7 p.m. by exciting LA Kings hockey. Kings are in Anaheim to battle the Ducks. That's what's on tap today. Thanks to Michelob Ultra, a refreshing and balanced flavor with only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Please enjoy responsibly.
Hey guys, it's Cap. So you get this letter from the Department of Water and Power with two big bold words, high usage. And you don't really know what to do about it, but you kind of have an idea of who you can blame. So you go knock on your daughter's door and you go, hey, would you stop showering for 45 minutes twice a day? And then you go to your son and say, would you please stop washing your car 3 times a week? And then you continue with your life until you get another one of these beautiful letters that says high usage on it. This is where the Water Boy comes in. The Water Boy specializes in pressurized leak detection. All they do, day in and day out, is go to homes and find leaks. Their state-of-the-art equipment allows them to visually and acoustically inspect your pipes to find that stubborn leak that's constantly flowing. It can be anything from a failing toilet to a burst pipe in your slab. You don't even know it existed. They have ample amounts of experience from water damage restoration to general construction and plumbing that, when combined, allows them to master the art of leak detection. They do non-destructive leak detections, which means they're not going to open or damage the structure of your home. Their equipment is advanced enough to listen to the exposed surfaces and indicate where the leak is occurring. They are widely used by homeowners, property managers, and even realtors to inspect pressurized water systems to make sure they're intact and functioning with no leaks. Call Omer at the Water Boy Leak Detection today, 818-518-5055. Visit thewaterboyinc.com. That's the Water Boy Leak Detection at 818-518-5055. Talk to Omer. He's going to take good care of you at the Water Boy. Visit thewaterboyinc.com.
Come to Carden Alleyway Hyundai and lease a new 2025 Hyundai Elantra SC for only $189 a month plus tax for 36 months, or $199% APR for 60 months, your choice. Plus, get peace of mind driving with America's best warranty. Carden Alleyway Hyundai just off the 91 freeway, or CardenAlleyWayHyundai.com.
Lease for $189 plus tax. License and fee to well-qualified buyers. 36-month lease, 10K miles per year, $29.99 due at signing. 1.99% APR at $28.64 per $1,000 finance. Not all buyers will qualify. Subject to HMF credit approval. Expires 9/30/2024.
Hey, it's Mason. Football is back. The Commerce Casino and Hotel is your new place for Monday Night Football. We've teamed up with Commerce. Monday Night Football happening all season starting September 9th. Food and drink specials, all kinds of giveaways, even athlete appearances. Go to commercecasino.com for details. Of course, you can always hit the tables before or after the game for some great poker. When you think Monday Night Football, think Commerce Casino.
Got to be 21 to play. Play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit problemgambling.ca.gov.
Join Mason and Ireland Wednesday, October 2nd from noon to 3 at Ralph's on Hawthorne Boulevard in Redondo Beach. Come see Lakers legend James Worthy for a meet and greet and enter ESPN LA's Ultimate Winery Sweepstakes for a wine country experience at Francis Ford Coppola Winery.
At the Home Depot, we know Saturdays are for college football. That's why we have everything you need to never miss a play, like Bear Dynasty interior paint, their most durable one-coat hide paint ever. From a team color statement wall to a fan cave, complete with a mural honoring Nick Saban's 17-year dynasty.
Hey, I like that idea.
Nothing beats Bear Dynasty interior paint. It's everything you need all in one can.
Defend your game time with Bear and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Valid only when intended to colors from the Bear Dynasty and Marquee Interior One-Coat Hide Color Collection.
All right, gentlemen, this is Emmett Smith on behalf of Depend, and I've got the perfect play. Run straight to your doctor's office for a life-changing catch. Because when prostate cancer is caught early, it's up to 99% treatable, and one blood test might be all it takes. And now through November, Depend is donating to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for select purchases. Talk about a great play.
From September 1st to November 30th, Depend is donating 40 cents to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for Depend Shield Guards Real Fit products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $300,000 void in Mississippi.
And it is Sedano Kap, live from the Commerce Casino on this Monday afternoon. Get on out there, press the flesh with the crew, win fabulous prizes, a lot of cheap food, and the Sedano Sling on this Monster Reaction Monday. You can also get Michelob Ultra at Commerce Casino. Thanks to Michelob Ultra for making a Monster Reaction Monday possible. Right here on 710 ESPN.
Brittany. I know you love that Britney content, Cappy.
I do indeed. I haven't seen her on my timeline in a long time, though.
She disappeared, and then she came back, and then she disappeared again, and then she came back. She was smart though in turning off her comments.
Yeah, very smart.
She was giving it away for free for a long time.
She still is.
Oh, really?
But she'll occasionally get upset and deactivate her Instagram for a week or two, and then she comes back and makes fun of a bunch of things that happened. Oh, these people are making fun of me and saying I'm crazy. Well, guess what? I'm just happy living my life. It's the whole thing.
Can I just tell you
Leave
one
Britney
thing?
alone.
Leave her alone.
Let me just tell you something really quick.
By the way, this debuted 98, sorry.
98.
Man, I'm old.
Yeah?
Well, it was your birthday on Saturday.
I know.
Happy birthday.
Thanks.
So
it's a great drop. Happy birthday from Pepe.
We have 2 Monday Night Football games going on tonight.
Right. What's the first one? Is that the Titans one with the Dolphins, or is it
the first game tonight is the Seahawks and the Lions.
Nope,
check that. It is the Titans and the Dolphins.
Right.
Then the Seahawks and the Lions. By the way, I got to keep my eye on this Seahawks-Lions game because my whole fantasy week depends on it.
Yeah.
And I've got 2 Lions guys, and the guy I'm playing against has 2 Lions guys, and I'm sure that he's going to win because he's got Amon-Ra St. Brown, and my whole tight end thing hasn't worked out for me. Anyway, listen. While tonight is Monday Night Football, I don't know if everybody else cares. Maybe you don't. I do. I'm kind of into it.
Yeah.
I'm watching the Braves and the Mets.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Well, it's 3-0 right now, Atlanta, in the top of the 8th. And if you were paying attention earlier, chances are most people work during the day and don't really care about the Mets and the Braves. But the Mets and the Braves played a crazy game where the Braves had
doubleheader today.
Yeah, it seemed like total control of the game. And then all of a sudden, the Mets came storming back in the 8th, and then the Braves came back, and then the Mets wound up winning it in the 9th, and it was just a crazy game. Now, in the second game...
And you buried the lead a little bit. So basically, the Braves need to win one of the 2 games to get into the postseason.
I did bury the lead.
Yeah.
So the deal was this going in. If the Mets won both games, the Braves were eliminated and the Diamondbacks would be in.
Correct.
If the Braves won both games, the Mets were eliminated and the Diamondbacks were in. But if they split 1-1, the Diamondbacks are out, both the Braves and the Mets are in.
Correct.
So right now, the Mets are officially in the postseason.
Right.
The Braves have a 3-0 lead in the second game. And, oh, by the way, here's another lead that I buried. The Braves were expecting to use their top pitcher, the guy who's probably going to win the Cy Young Award, Chris Sale. And guess what? He had back problems, so they didn't start him in the second game.
Right.
And yet here are the Braves right now,
Still
3-0.
leading. Yeah. So the Diamondbacks could end up with the short end of the stick after making the World Series last year.
Well, it's their own fault because I looked this up earlier today. The Diamondbacks in the last month of the season went 14-17.
Right.
So while the Mets were 19-11.
Right. Well, and the Diamondbacks last year had one of those crazy runs at the end of the year.
They fell apart at the end, and in the last 2 weeks, they lost 2 out of 3 to Colorado. They lost 2 out of 3 at home against San Francisco.
Yeah.
They got nobody to blame but themselves.
Right. Those are bad teams. They should have won.
But the Mets and the Braves, these are the kinds of teams that make noise in the postseason.
Making noise.
They can make some noise, okay?
That's when you hit Brock Purdy, D.
That's right. These are the kinds of teams that can make noise in the postseason. So now it looks like both of them are about to get in.
Well, Tim Kirkchin, who is probably I don't know, the best baseball historian there is alive, I think, at the moment.
Is Peter Gammon still alive?
He might be, but I don't know. He's definitely not working anymore.
Oh, okay.
So I and even then, I'd still probably say Tim is.
You go Kirkshin over Gammon.
I would.
All day.
Yeah.
He is still alive.
Okay, that's good news. Like
Don't
Freddie
kill him off.
Biletnikoff.
Yeah.
But he's not working.
Okay, that's unfortunate.
I mean, he's fairly old, I would imagine, at this stage. You know, Diamond Notes with Peter Gammons.
Okay.
I used to look forward to that when I was a kid.
Right. Me
But
too.
Kirkshin says this is the most wide open MLB playoffs or postseason he has ever seen in all his years covering Major League Baseball. Guy's in his
79,
60s.
by the way. 79. That's how old
Peter Gammon,
Gammon
79?
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen,
So Kirkshin says most wide open he's ever seen in all the years he's covered baseball.
I'm no historian
Interesting.
like Tim Kirkshin. I know a lot of people would probably say, "Hey, come on, man, don't do that to yourself. Come on,
Don't sell yourself short,
Right.
Cappy.
You're a doctor, but not a historian.
Right, not a historian.
Yeah.
However, I will just say this: I would agree with that just based on watching the whole season. Because let's face it, look, could the Dodgers win the World Series?
Maybe.
Sure, they could. Yeah. Right. Could the Padres beat the Dodgers and move on to the? Yeah, possible.
Maybe.
Could Philadelphia?
God, I hope not, though.
Well, think about how unbearable I might be.
Yeah.
Could Philadelphia?
Oh, my God,
I mean, Philadelphia for sure. By the way, the Mets and the Braves, both of these teams look
Good
like they're
teams.
about to go in. They could do it, too. On the American League side of things.
The Yankees, obviously.
Right. The Gardos
Yeah.
came in. Gardos come in at second place.
I mean, I don't know about the Gardos, but maybe.
I'm just saying, listen, it would seem to me that this whole thing is wide open.
Yeah.
Houston, Kansas City, Detroit, I mean, Milwaukee. I mean, you don't know.
Good for the Tigers, by the way, making the playoffs.
Yeah,
I feel like, I mean, when I was growing up and you were growing up, and Pepe was already a made man. See, he embraces that. Whereas you, if I would have said that, you would have been like, I'm not the old guy. I don't want to be the old guy.
No, but hold on a second. Had you said that I was a made man, that to me is a tremendous compliment.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? To everybody wants to be a made man.
Okay.
You know?
But, when we were growing up, the Tigers were good.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then they had, they've had some good seasons. But so I think it's nice to see when, like, some of the traditional teams are in the postseason.
Well, I mean, listen.
Kansas City is another example.
What if they knock out the Astros? Wouldn't that be crazy?
Oh, I mean, nobody likes the Astros, so
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter. Whoever knocks them out.
Yeah, but the Astros they have a lot of experience in this.
They do have a lot
in
of
this
experience.
business.
Yeah, and it's a different, although a different team, but a lot of those guys have been around long enough to have experienced a lot of their success.
I mean, you talk about like old school teams and old school baseball brands that have made it in. Kansas City against Baltimore.
Yeah.
I mean, that is like when I think of Kansas
George
City.
Brett versus Cal Ripken?
I was even going to go back a little bit further. I was going to go back to like the Earl Weaver, Jim Palmer days of the Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Kansas City, Baltimore is great. Houston is confusing because as somebody who grew up
They
with
were
Houston in the National League,
they
it's a little confusing.
Yeah, I mean, it was like Nolan Ryan and like, those guys, right?
But here
86.
comes, but this is amazing that on a day like today, a game that or two games really that were canceled because of the hurricane,
right,
or postponed because of the hurricane, and it looks like a split's about to happen.
By the way, and I know we have listeners listening all over the country via the app
Mm-hmm.
and YouTube and whatnot. If you are in that part of the world, man, where that thing ravaged, several states like
North Carolina.
Particularly the western part of North Carolina.
Super far inland, like places that don't have any
Right.
experience dealing with hurricanes.
Because the way that hurricane was being advertised was it will make landfall in the panhandle of Florida.
Right.
And yes, it was supposed to have this really super wide reach.
Yeah, 400 miles in diameter.
Asheville, North Carolina.
Yeah.
I've seen the videos. I've been watching the videos from Asheville,
terrible.
North Carolina, because I got some friends nearby there. It's a disaster.
Yeah.
By the way, I also became friends with a guy on TikTok, of all places. Have you seen the guy on CNN that's in his canoe that looks like Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters, and he's in his canoe in his house? I don't know how, but me and him connected on TikTok, and now we're BFFs.
Wow.
Good.
How about that?
Yeah.
The power of TikTok.
Yeah, but those people, man, really, I mean,
It's tough.
I'm praying for them.
Yeah, no doubt, man. It's tough. So, yeah, all our thoughts and positive energies towards those people.
Damn right.
All right, coming up next, Cappy, how about Sam Darnold, man? This kid is balling. Let's get into him a little bit. Give him his flowers. Let's talk about the worm turning. Let's talk more about the Raiders. Get into the NFL, the weekend that was. But first, Cappy, tell us about your friends at Real Father's Rights.
So, look, I always tell you guys this. I'm not embarrassed about it. I was, at one time, I was embarrassed. I was guilt-ridden. I was fearful about so many things. But I'm not, and the reason I tell you guys that I'm not is because I know that there are other guys out there that were feeling that exact same way. That's why I'm happy to talk about my personal situation, my divorce, child custody, going back and forth to court, fighting over money, et cetera, et cetera. The reason I'm willing to talk about that is because I want to relay to you guys, I've been through it. You may be going through it. You might go through it in the future. You got to have the right team behind you, and I want to introduce you to my friend Mark Reel and his team at Real Fathers' Rights. In fact, I like to say it like this. Let's get real. REEL. Let's get real with Real Fathers' Rights. These are experts in navigating the family court system. They're going to help you keep your happiness. They're going to get you the justice you deserve. Let's get real with realfathersrights.com/710. Real, REEL, realfathersrights.com/710. Or you can just make a quick call. It's no big deal. They'll take the call from you. 323-870-1611. 323-870-1611. Real Fathers' Rights. The Fathers' Rights attorneys.
It's the Travis and DeMarco Show.
Every weekday morning at 9 a.m.
When was the last time you had an Old English?
It's been a while. I can't be around people.
Well, here's the thing. I understand it's high test, right?
Yeah.
It's got a high ABV. That's the whole point. Why does it have to taste so bad?
It really, I think it's got this little sweet aftertaste.
Oh,
I kinda love it. I could go all day.
No.
Yeah, all day.
It's Trav and D-Farr.
Back tomorrow morning after Greeny on LA's mega sports station, 710 ESPN.
One of LA's best kept secrets in the heart of Los Angeles, East Central Hotel offers effortless accommodations and unparalleled accessibility. The East Central Hotel is for everyone looking for entertainment with their trendy, spacious rooms, a renovated gym, and a patio lounge for breakfast, dinner, and drinks. Stop by their incredible Nixo Lounge before your next event at LA Live. Book your stay at eastcentralhotel.com or call 213-748-1291 today at Entertainment's official address.
Coming off a huge victory over their division rivals, the San Francisco 49ers, your LA Rams will return to SoFi Stadium on Sunday, October 6th at 1 p.m. to take on the Green Bay Packers. Come pack the Rams house and cheer on Kyron Williams, Matthew Stafford, and the Rams as they go head-to-head against Josh Jacobs, Jaden Reed, and the Packers. Tickets are on sale now at therams.com/GB. Again, that is therams.com/GB to watch your LA Rams face off against the Green Bay Packers on Sunday, October 6th at SoFi Stadium. See you at the Rams house.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
710 ESPN.
KSPN, Los Angeles.
A good karma brands radio station.
710 ESPN.
Sedano and Kap for your afternoon right now on 710 ESPN.
It's time for what you need to know.
Let's do it. What you need to know right now
is that Pepe's here. And Pepe and I just had a in-depth conversation in Spanish.
What, you think I'm not listening?
In a second language.
You think I don't? What do you guys think? Like you're going to talk about me and I don't know what you guys are saying?
Actually, we're talking about D'Lo.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, Kaplan.
Yes, sir.
You're not that important, man. We don't talk about you. Seriously, we have other things.
Well, just because you guys were speaking in Espanol, I was like, these guys think that I don't speak Spanish, that I don't know what they're talking about. I heard what you said.
Yeah,
I heard what you said about D'Lo.
We were talking about D'Lo, and I was, and we'll have some of the audio here in a minute. But it was just some of the things he said at Media Day had me just kind of shaking my head a little bit. And look, I love him because he's a content machine.
He's a great soundbite.
There's no question about that. But man, some of the stuff just makes me like go, okay, man, whatever.
I'm going to root for D'Lo this year. I'm going to root for him to kind of.
Well, he listens to. Apparently, he finds out everything that's said about him according to what he said today at Media Day.
Oh well, let's do this.
Let's just do it.
I always root for him.
Do you have the audio?
Yeah, we did what you need to know. It's that Pepe's here.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Pepe's here.
That's everything?
Yeah.
That's all you need to know, bro.
Oh. Well, I know you, bro. You play in the ACC, don't you? Don't you, Pepe? I know you, bro.
All right, D, do you have those cuts?
I have the one that you asked for, yeah.
Yeah, well, there's two of them, right? Like there's the one where he talks about, gotta being better and like, whatever. I'm paraphrasing, but being more professional, blah, blah, blah. But the one before that, he also then said that he's got like a team of people that keep him up to speed on what he's trending about or whatever,
I
blah, blah,
I can
blah.
find that next one, but I have the one about him
Okay,
apologizing.
play the other one first and then find that second one. But play the first one.
Well, first of all, I've never had a coach say anything like that, so I really appreciate those words. For me, I think just trying to be, selfless. Obviously, I'm I want to apologize to all the fans out there that obviously saw me not hold myself accountable throughout the year, not be as professional as I would like to be the whole time. And if I've become a distraction in any way, I want to apologize for that, for the past. But in the future, just looking forward to being here, winning here, being a part of this new everything. It just feels new around here, and super excited for it.
Okay, so let's start here, okay? He was answering the beginning part of the question was about how, hey, JJ told us that he spent a lot of time talking to you in the offseason, yada, yada, about, you and him and building a relationship and what you can do for the team, et cetera. So that was the beginning part of it. Then the second part of it was obviously very obvious. And we know last year he had some moments. He didn't speak to the media in certain stretches of the year because there was news and rumblings about his future or whatever.
Well, I remember, though, like right after the in-season tournament.
Right.
Where the day after they'd won it,
right,
there was this podcast that got released.
Where he talked about his role on the team.
His podcast, right?
Yeah, but it was like, here's what they should be doing with me.
Right.
This is the sort of player that I am. This is the sort of player that I'm not. And this is the way they should be utilizing my skills.
Right.
And it just
I'm not just a catch and shoot guy. Right.
Right. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. We have breaking news.
What?
Not good breaking news.
This is actually a really bad day based on this breaking news.
What is it?
So,
according to
MLB legend Pete Rose has passed away, according to TMZ, at age 83.
83 years old. Wow. It's a weird day, right? Because, they say things come in threes.
Yeah.
Earlier today, Dikembe Mutombo
passed away.
58 years old.
Brain cancer.
Yeah.
58 years old, Dikembe Mutombo.
Great guy.
I mean, let me tell you something. When I was in college, okay, when Pitt would play Georgetown, and this is back in the old school Big East, these are the John Thompson, Alonzo Mourning, Dikembe Mutombo Big East teams. I mean, those were the biggest games every year.
Yeah.
And that old school Big East of Syracuse and Georgetown and St. John's and Seton Hall and Pitt, I mean, those were amazing rivalries. I've been following this guy, Dikembe Mutombo, since I'm like 18 years old. Yeah. And not only did he become a great NBA player, but then afterwards,
an incredible human being.
Great humanitarian.
Yeah.
And also commercial pitch man.
Right.
Pepe, you're sitting here doing the finger point.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, Dikembe Mutombo, 58 years old,
Crazy.
brain cancer, dude. That is way too young.
Yeah.
Pete Rose, 83 years old.
Lived a long life.
Lived an amazingly long life. I mean, not that 83 is like some, super old guy in this state.
Yeah.
I mean, older.
But let's say, Pete lived the life. He lived like a hard life.
When you
and when I don't mean like hard. I mean hard as in he went hard.
Big time. Yeah. I mean, listen, when you and me were little babies in this business,
yeah,
I can remember, this is way back when, there was this radio network called the Sports Fan Radio Network.
Yeah, and Pete was on it.
Pete was a host, and he used to host the show
from Pete Rose's restaurant
in Boca Raton, darling.
Yeah.
And the guy he would host with was here in L.A., Big Joe McDonald.
Yeah.
For everybody that would remember Big Joe. So one day, I'm like totally new into the sports radio business. This is like 1994-ish.
Yeah. They
say to me, hey, would you be willing to come to Pete Rose's restaurant and host Pete's show with Pete? I'm like, you kidding me? I'm like a little kid. I'm like, me? I get to host a radio show with Pete Rose?
Yeah.
Did you say, hells yeah?
I did.
Like
I was
little young Cappy?
Oh, I was all into it, baseball. You don't even understand, girl. And so I show up. I go into Boca Raton. I go to Pete Rose's restaurant. I guess I want to say this is, like around 1990, maybe it's like 96-ish, right? So I go in and I meet Pete. Pete, how are you? I'm Scott Kaplan. Right away, what's up, Cap? How you doing? Like, he doesn't know me from a can of paint. But right away, he takes to me. So we start talking, and he's got a box of baseballs sitting right in front of him.
Yeah, he's signing them.
And he's signing the baseballs, right? Pete Rose, and then he would put the number sign, and then he would write the number. And I don't remember what the number was.
4256.
4256. So Pete Rose, number sign, 4256. And here's me, big dumbass.
You didn't know what the number was.
Didn't know the number, right? So I'm 26 years old, and I say to him, I go, yo, man. I go, so do you, put, a number, like a serial number or something on, every baseball? And he looks at me and he goes,
you dumbass.
You dumbass. That's exactly what he said to me. That's the number of hits. I'm the hit king. I'm like, I know that you're the hit king. I just didn't know the number. You'll have to excuse me, Pete. Every time I would see Pete Rose.
That is so you, though.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Every time I would see Pete Rose, the first thing he would say to me is, Cap.
Hey, dumbass.
No, he'd say, Cap, Who do you like tonight? Syracuse or Georgetown? Who do you like? And like people that were with me, they'd be like, did Pete Rose just ask you for your opinion about the game tonight? I'm like, don't ask. I don't know why he asked me my opinion. I don't have any strong opinion. But I would go to Vegas at times, and I'd walk through the Caesars Palace, shops, right? And Pete would be in like one of these card stores doing like autograph signings, just making money, like all subdued, But he would see me, and no matter where it was, he would know my name. He'd give me a big hug. I mean, it was a crazy thing. Oh, man, 83 years old, Pete Rose.
Yeah.
Well,
shame.
Is that confirmed already?
TMZ's report.
TMZ's usually
Pretty good
They're
on
never
that.
wrong.
Yeah, well-
They said they got it from his agent. So for what it's worth.
Rest in peace, man.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Now let's everybody here. Let's all stay good today. Remember, you got Dikembe, you got Pete.
Well, and then there was didn't John Forsythe? Chris Christopherson.
Chris
Chris Christopherson. Okay, good. We're good.
But I
That's
don't
great.
think
That's
he's
good.
like a. Never mind.
I mean, Chris Christopherson was a huge star. You were about to say he wasn't?
No, I was gonna say I feel like not the same level, but it is. I guess it doesn't matter when it's just famous people dying in
But
threes.
I would say to some people he's a bigger star than either of them.
Yeah.
good point.
He composed one of the songs that I like the most.
Which song?
Me and Bobby McGee.
Oh, I love that song.
Yeah.
Can you sing us a line?
Yeah, I mean, but didn't,
Pepe.
was it
I'm
Janis
not gonna-
Joplin who made it famous? Or
Yeah,
yes.
Janis Joplin.
That's right.
See,
right.
I like to talk to
See,
you about
right.
that.
We like classic rock.
Yeah.
So, by the way, side note, sad to say that Pete Rose just, has been reported, that he's just recently passed. But in baseball, the Braves did win the second game of this doubleheader against the Mets. So the Arizona Diamondbacks can pack up their clubhouse. They're going home. And the Braves will move on.
Yeah.
And the Mets will move on.
Yeah.
And I'll have to get, confirmation, but I think the Mets immediately get on a plane and go to San Diego.
Yeah.
Where they play at 5:40 tomorrow against the Padres.
Yeah, they gained some time. Coming this way.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
By the way, John Ashton also passed away.
John
Beverly Hills
Ashton.
Cop.
No.
Taggart.
No, don't tell me that.
Wow.
No, you're kidding me.
Yeah.
When did this happen?
Yesterday. Judge Reinhold tweeted it.
Oh, my God.
We were just talking about them, remember?
Look, listen, I knew Pete Rose. I'm not going to tell you that I was really, super close friends with Pete Rose.
Did you know John Ashton, too?
Quite well.
No way.
I swear to you. I
Really?
swear to you. Yeah, quite well. As a
Yeah,
matter of
Judge
fact.
Reinhold tweeted it yesterday.
Oh, man, that's a shame. Gosh, man. Oh, dude.
Was he an investor incited?
He was not.
Oh,
he was
okay.
not an investor inside. I'll tell you how I got to know John
How did
Ashton.
you get to know him then?
I played a lot of golf with John Ashton.
Yeah.
A lot of golf. John Ashton lived in Denver. He used to play on what was called the Celebrity Players Tour. And they used to have it was like a professional golf tour, but for celebrities. Oh, my God, I completely missed this. Oh, my God, my heart is just sinking right now. So John Ashton used to come to these celebrity tournaments, and I had done some broadcasting for these celebrity tournaments. I had traveled around, to go to these tournaments and call them.
Yeah.
And I'd gotten to know John quite well. Oh, man.
And they just did Beverly Hills Cop, the last movie
and
on Netflix.
And he was excited about that, too, man.
Yeah.
He was really excited.
It was
about-
good.
Yeah,
It was
gosh,
pretty good. So can we should probably finish D-Lo.
Oh, my God, this just breaks my heart,
Yeah.
man.
I mean, are you okay? You gonna be able to do the show?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be able to do it. I mean, good thing Pepe's here. But, I mean, right now, you just hit me with three things.
Yeah.
Dikembe Mutombo, who I loved at Georgetown.
Right.
Pete Rose, who I loved, even though I didn't know the number of hits that he had.
John Ashton.
And John Ashton.
And don't forget Chris Christopherson.
I mean, him, all right, whatever. I mean, Bobby McGee. But for me, John Ashton and freaking Pete Rose. I mean, that just,
I mean, they hit you right here.
You guys are killing me right now.
I mean, we don't want to. Not phrasing. Yeah,
Yes.
we don't want to kill you.
No.
You know what it says? Bobby McGee says, I will change all my tomorrows for a single yesterday.
Yes, that's right.
That's a famous quote of
Yes.
that song.
Yeah,
And
famous
if
quote.
if you're missing somebody that is gone, that applies.
Like John
It
Ashton.
was John Ashton. I mean,
He had to be old.
I would say in his probably early 70s.
No.
How old do you think?
He looked older than that.
Well, he always looked older. That was kind of
No,
the
I know that was his thing. Yeah.
Yeah, how old?
I don't know that song. I wish you guys could can you sing it in
76.
tune? How's it go? I'm not kidding. I
Me
don't.
and my Bobby McGee.
Yeah.
You don't know it either.
It's a great song. DeAndre will play it coming back.
Linz,
Okay. Is that what you think, Pepe?
Yeah, Linz, why don't you tell us about Stella Rosa as we reset here after Cappy got sad?
Sounds good to me. All right, so sports fans, gear up for your next game day hang with your friends. Let me tell you, there's nothing sweeter than Stella Rosa when you're getting ready to watch a game and, you're like, let's say this weekend, you're like me and you're just not really feeling a heavy beer. So I decided to celebrate another win, OH, just like fight on, and my birthday with my favorite Stella Rosa blueberry, which listener George brought me last week. So be just like George and head to your local retailer and grab a couple bottles the next time you shop before game day. And get this, Stella Rosa wants to make it even sweeter and hook you up with a chance to win an experience to the biggest game of the college football season. You could win 2 tickets to the game, airfare, and a hotel for you and a friend. Right now, just head over to ESPNLADreamTicket.com to enter the Dream Ticket Sweepstakes presented by Stella Rosa. And remember to celebrate responsibly. Must be 21 or older to enter.
And yes, it is a Monster Reaction Monday right here on 710 ESPN and the...
Hey, football fans, there is nothing sweeter than a cold glass of Stella Rosa and watching your team compete. But Stella Rosa wants to make it even sweeter and hook you up with the chance to win an experience to the biggest game of the college football season. You could win 2 tickets to the game, airfare, and a hotel for you and a friend. Head over to ESPNLADreamTicket.com to enter the Dream Ticket Sweepstakes presented by Stella Rosa, America's favorite semi-sweet, semi-sparkling wine. Please celebrate responsibly. Must be 21 or older to enter.
Trying to pay you so little that you won't be able to repair the damage. That is when you call Avner Gatt. Avner Gatt is a public insurance adjuster who is on your side. Look, you can try and negotiate with the insurance company yourself. I've tried. You're going to find out very quickly it is not that simple. Avner Gatt and his team negotiate on your behalf to make sure you're getting the best possible outcome, not the insurance company. He and his team have been dealing with insurance companies for so many years. It's all they do. They've got the experience. They've got the industry know-how that you need on your side. Now, some of these folks used to work for insurance companies before they joined Avner's team, and Avner Gatt himself has 20 years of experience in this industry. Avner Gatt has one of the largest teams of professional, licensed public adjusters in California, and yes, the size is important. Avner has a unique winning recipe for handling homeowners' insurance claims. No one, and I mean no one, messes around with Avner Gatt and his team. Call Avner Gatt, 818-917-5256, 818-917-5256, or visit AvnerGatt.com. That's AVNERGAT, AvnerGatt.com. You call Avner Gatt, 818-917-5256. Avner takes the call himself. Hello!
Park, party, and play at Hollywood Park Casino. Join Travis Rogers and Kirk Morrison Sunday, October 6th for their live Rams postgame show from Ray's Lounge at Hollywood Park Casino. Win prizes and party with Travis, Kirk, and ESPN LA fans. Hollywood Park Casino is Los Angeles' premier card room casino and entertainment destination. Enjoy a postgame meal and drink at Ray's Lounge right after the game. Park, party, and play at Hollywood Park Casino. Elevate your game. Must be 21 and older.
John Ireland here. Hey, look, your smile matters, so let's help you and your kids get a brighter, healthier smile. Dr. Monica Madden at Beverly Hills Orthodontics is born and raised in L.A. and is also a mom herself, so she understands what kids need and ensures a comfortable and friendly experience for all. Your kid's smile will be in expert hands. Check them out today at BeverlyHillsOrtho.com or call 877-7-LET'S-DO-THIS. That's 877-753-8736. BeverlyHillsOrtho.com.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. 0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
And it is Sedano Kap Monday afternoon. Remember, you can stream the show on video, so you can see all the fun and frivolity anytime on our YouTube channel at ESPN Los Angeles during 3 to 6 p.m. with Sedano Kap. And if you miss a moment, the podcast, always easy on the all-new ESPN LA app. Right now, back to Commerce Casino for Monday Night Football, and back to Sedano and Kap.
Good enough for me and my Bobby.
Yeah. What a song.
Come on, Pepe, sing it.
California.
Listen to the words whenever you have a chance. That's a great song.
It is a great song. I didn't realize Chris Christopherson wrote the song.
He did.
I mean, this is just a classic right here. Old school banger.
Yeah. By the way, did you know that today is also extra virgin olive oil day?
That I did not know.
I love a good extra virgin olive oil. I
would
have some, a little drizzle every day.
I would celebrate it.
Yeah.
I really would.
It's good for you.
Yeah.
It's good for your ticker.
Of course it
It's
is.
very good.
Hey, Young D, I know you ain't know nothing about no Janis Joplin
I
or
sure
Bobby
don't.
McGee
I sure
or
don't.
Christopher Christopherson. You ain't know nothing about none of them.
Do you know something about extra virgin olive oil?
I do know something about that. The
Oh,
extra
come
virgin
on. There we
olive oil.
go.
Come on now.
You do, huh?
But then you learned something today, right? About Janis Joplin.
I did.
Okay.
We learn something every day on our show, I feel like.
There you
He
go.
does. Well, he's a young man.
Yeah, young fella is what he is.
Yeah. So, Cappy,
Talk to me.
Pepe and I were discussing something in Spanish about Dilo 2 segments ago.
Espanol de lo.
De lo, sí, yeah.
See, that's Spanish. What that is.
Muy bien.
So, D, let's do this again because we were interrupted by the
Pete Rose
unfortunate passing of Pete Rose.
And then you took me down with John Ashton.
I thought you would
You
have
have
known.
no
I mean,
bedside manner when it comes to this
It
stuff.
was on the internet yesterday.
I mean, I missed it. I was watching football.
Well, I mean, in between football, you didn't see it on Twitter?
I missed
You
it.
don't follow Judge Reinhold?
I guess not.
Yeah.
I was watching.
Whose fault is that then?
It's my fault.
Yeah.
It's my fault. I
Blaming
take
me.
full response. Well, because again, when it comes to these sorts of things, you have no bedside manner.
Well, I did that to McVay once prior to your arrival on this show. Trudell was doing the show with me one day, and Burt Reynolds passed away.
Well,
And I remember, and I said, Trudell's like, do you think McVay knows that Burt Reynolds passed away? I said, absolutely not. These football coaches, they live in a cave, man, during the football season.
they live in a caveman.
Caveman.
Oh, caveman.
Yeah.
Caveman.
Cave, man.
I live in a caveman.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I said, there's no chance he knows anything that's going on in the outside world right now. He's focused on whoever the hell the opponent was, right? And he's like, oh, no way. He has to know Burt Reynolds passed away. So I bring him on. I say, Sean, you a big Burt Reynolds guy? He's like, oh, yeah, man, love Burt Reynolds, Smokey and the Bandit, blah, blah. And I said, oh, yeah, he passed away today. He's like, damn it, George, how can you do that to me? And I was like, I bet Trudell you didn't know.
That was the day. You got me one day really bad, though. This is about 2 years ago. You call me up. I go, yo, because that's why I answer the phone. And you go, hey, man, Pat McGrath died. I'm like, whoa, couldn't you, give me, a
buffer?
Hey, man, listen, I don't know if you've heard about this, but perhaps you should sit down.
No, I got to
You know, maybe, just wanted you to know because I know you were close. You just hit me with it.
Yeah.
You know? And you just got me with John Ashton. All right, go back to D-Lo, will you?
All right, D-Lo.
Yeah.
All right, so DeAndre, let's play the first cut again, the one that we played a little while ago before Pete Rose's passing.
Well, first of all, I've never had a coach say anything like that, so I really appreciate those words. For me, I think just trying to be, selfless. Obviously, I want to apologize to all the fans out there that obviously saw me not hold myself accountable throughout the year, not be as professional as I would like to be the whole time. And if I've become a distraction in any way, I want to apologize for that for the past. But in the future, just looking forward to being here, winning here, being a part of this new everything. It just feels new around here, and super excited for it.
All right, so take two. So anyway, the first part is about someone asking about JJ and him having conversations in the offseason. Second part was self-explanatory. Now, do you look at this and say, oh, that's very introspective of D'Lo to do that, to realize he may not have behaved the way he would have liked to have behaved, the way you would have expected him to behave in those scenarios? Or do you say that, it's easy to say that now when you're probably old enough at this stage of your career to have known better when all that stuff was going down last season?
All right, so the nice guy in me says, hey, you know what? I can really appreciate that a guy who's made a lot of money, who was a first-round draft choice, who's, in his second Laker tenure, I can really appreciate the apology.
Yeah.
Hey, fans, if I misbehaved, if I wasn't professional, if I seemed selfish in some way, if I created a distraction, I'm really sorry about it. You don't ever hear superstar athletes apologize. I mean, ever. So on one hand, that's really kind of cool. Now, the skeptic in me, the critic in me says, this is a guy who does not want to leave this team, does not want to leave this town, wants to be part of what's going on here, and probably knows that he was perceived at one time as being selfish. Because he's not exactly coming out and saying, hey, I want to apologize for my playoff performances. I want to apologize for missing a whole bunch of shots. I want to apologize for not really contributing to our team winning when we really needed me. He's apologizing, again, credit to him, because you don't ever hear that. He's apologizing for the way he was perceived by people. So I'm a little bit of both. I can appreciate where he's coming from, and there's a little bit of skepticism inside there. What do you think?
I think the problem is, and I don't know, I guess we weren't rolling on this, or it wasn't aired on Spectrum when they went to him or whatever, but nonetheless, I text this in the group text. Okay? Prior to that question and answer that you just heard there,
yeah,
he was asked about basically just kind of some of the chatter around him and all the speculation around him being traded potentially. Rachel Nichols asked the question about, how did it feel? Like, do you think you can talk to other guys who may be dealing with the situation you dealt with, where you're in the news all the time as like this asset and you're a contract and this, that, and the other? So he said, yeah, it'd be interesting when I was going through it. Maybe it's something now I can provide insight to someone else. He's like, but I have a team around me that keeps me downloaded on all the things I'm trending about.
He has a team around him.
Yeah.
To keep him up to speed with what he's trending about?
Right.
How big of a team?
I don't know. He didn't.
Is it 4 other guys?
Expand on the idea. But so this answer we just heard was juxtaposed to the literal previous question, and then him finishing with, he's got a bunch of people telling him everything people are saying about him, basically.
Now that seems very strange to me. See, now if I'm LeBron and I'm a billionaire and I'm so much more than just a basketball star, and I am known for sort of hearing and seeing everything, I could understand where LeBron might have a team of people telling him what's going on. But D'Lo, that seems a little odd to me.
Well, but again, so now you have those two questions and answers juxtaposed back to back, okay? And I'm like, okay, I appreciate the apology for your perceived immaturity at times, even last season, or maybe even as he provided it, unprofessionalism.
Yep.
But then you're also telling me you clearly are letting people tell you every little thing that people are telling or saying about you. I don't know if that's healthy either, necessarily, because it feels like this is just going to be one vicious circle where we're going to be these people who are telling you all these things are going to put you in a state of mind that perhaps will make you have a reoccurrence to the way you behaved last year. Because I don't feel like that's healthy to know every single little detail of what Sedano and Kap and Stephen A. and Shannon Sharp and Nick Wright and, whatever, and Travis and DeMarco and Mason in Ireland. Well, not Ireland, but Mason, and whatever. like everybody's saying about you and what John 3467 Laker fan on Twitter is saying about you. Like, I don't think that stuff is necessarily healthy, and I think that stuff will also then put you back in the place where you may have to apologize again for your behavior, because it's human nature to be annoyed by that stuff and then act the way you acted last season.
You know what's funny about this? We had this conversation last week, which was, do the players still listen to sports talk radio?
Right.
And a lot of the players will say they don't listen.
Right, but here's the thing. You know where sports talk radio lives when it's not on sports talk radio? On social media.
Yeah, and by the way, I told it to you guys last week. The players may not listen, and the coaches may not listen, or at least that's what they tell you.
The team of people.
The team will listen, and the wives will listen. The wives will always listen.
And D'Lo's team.
Okay? And then, of course, D'Lo's team. I'm, like, shocked by this whole conversation, that he would be that concerned about what is being said, written, poked around on Twitter. Like, dude, here's what I would do if I were you, young fella. Okay? Take some advice from a little older of a guy, all right? A little more experience around this thing.
You are a decent amount older.
I mean, first of all...
you're twice his age.
Right, grow a thick skin, first of all. That's number one. And number two, bro, block out the noise.
Yeah.
I mean, if it means deleting Twitter, deleting Instagram, then delete them. And if you don't want to do that and you want to participate, then do that too. But come on, man. Block out the noise. Listen, last week...
I almost would prefer you be Kevin Durant in that scenario.
Right. Go back at people if that's what you want to do.
Right.
Last week you came back, you told the story, you got to Boston, you turned on sports radio there.
They were
the first
killing
thing
your
you
guy.
did was beating up on my buddy. Listen, yesterday the New England Patriots got ham-slammed by the San Francisco 49ers. People are coming at me on Twitter, your boy's not a good offensive coordinator. He had the whole offseason to try and figure this thing out. I'm like, bro, look at their roster. What do you think that Bob Kraft is blaming the coordinator, or you think Bob Kraft is blaming the roster? So my point is this. When you're in that role, okay, where people are constantly criticizing you, you got to either block it out.
Blinders.
Or you got to have a thick skin.
So we have the audio now of what D'Lo said before.
All right.
So now we can hear it instead of me paraphrasing. Go ahead, D.
Way to kind of get through your adversity, just always having that confidence. And the people around me, I think my people around me are brutally honest. So before I leave the house, I hear what's trending about me. So my folks will say it before it's kind of trending. So I think it's a positive for me.
He says my folks. He's talking about his parents,
his friends,
talking about his wife. I don't know if
his
he's married.
people in general, like probably like his agent or his manager or his buddies.
Right.
That's
People he
what I
surrounds
think.
himself
That's
with.
what he meant when he said a team of people. I mean,
Right.
the people close to him. I
folks.
take it like, in a way, he's playing the media, number one. And
Pepe
number two,
thinks he's playing us all for fools.
and-
I don't think he
No. I'm just going along with the media.
I don't
okay? And the other thing, I appreciate the apology because, like you said, hardly anybody ever apologizes.
Nobody apologizes, especially not pro athletes who are making millions and millions of dollars.
But before he walks out of the house, it's like, whoa, D'Lo, wait.
Yeah. Hey, I
You
want
know
to tell
what's
you.
trending about you?
Yeah.
You're trending right now on
You're
Twitter.
trending right now
Your
on Twitter.
podcast.
Yeah. Hey, D'Lo, Sedano is killing you because of what you said, that you're not a catch and shoot guy. He's like, what? Sedano said what? Kick his little freaking ass if I see him. Freaking drop an atomic elbow on him. Next time he tries to bring it in for a hug. Oh, we ain't bringing it in for a hug. We're bringing it in for a headlock. Little punk Sedano. Watch your freaking mouth. Keep my damn mouth. Keep my name out your damn mouth.
And you know what I'll say to him?
Tell me.
I mean, D'Lo, today's International Podcast Day, man.
Oh, happy podcast day to everybody.
Does he still do his podcast, do you think? I mean, I never even heard of it ever again after that.
No, they did a couple. Anthony Davis did an episode.
That's right.
We did it. We played that too. All right. But anyway.
I'll tell you who's got a good podcast is Mookie Betts. Shout out to Mookie.
Yeah. All right. Radio Tinder's up next, Cappy.
Okay.
Award-winning, right here at this casino 2 times. Okay. Award-winning Radio Tinder, brought to you by our friends at Tequila Mandala. Always swipe right on Tequila Mandala. Award-winning small batch premium sippy tequila made from the finest mature agaves, available everywhere fine tequilas are sold. Visit their website, tequilamandala.com, and demand the extraordinary with our friends at Tequila Mandala. All right, Radio Tinder is next.
Hey football fans, there is nothing sweeter than a cold glass of Stella Rosa and watching your team compete. But Stella Rosa wants to make it even sweeter and hook you up with the chance to win an experience to the biggest game of the college football season. You could win 2 tickets to the game, airfare, and a hotel for you and a friend. Head over to ESPNLADreamTicket.com to enter the Dream Ticket Sweepstakes presented by Stella Rosa, America's favorite semi-sweet, semi-sparkling wine. Please celebrate responsibly. Must be 21 or older to enter.
AARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Paid for by Cars for Kids.
Just like in sports, you can never predict an accident. It will come when you least expect it. Travis Rogers here with DeMarco Farr to tell you about our friend, Joseph S. Normand.
If you're in any accident, call Joseph at 213-747-2000. The team at Normand Legal is ready to help you and achieve the maximum compensation you deserve.
Call Joseph at 213-747-2000 or visit normandlegal.com. You have many choices in a legal team, but family always comes first.
Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. The law office of Joseph S. Normand.
Join Mason and Ireland Wednesday, October 2nd from noon to 3 at Ralph's on Hawthorne Boulevard in Redondo Beach. Come see Lakers legend James Worthy for a meet and greet and enter ESPN LA's Ultimate Winery Sweepstakes for a wine country experience at Francis Ford Coppola Winery.
Are you ready to make a difference for the environment while helping the visually impaired at the same time? Then donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind today by calling 1-800-983-6530. Every donated vehicle will either be properly recycled in an eco-friendly manner or given a new life through reuse. Donating your vehicle is easy. Simply call 1-800-983-6530 and Heritage for the Blind will do the rest. They'll even arrange for your vehicle to be picked up at no cost to you. And for a limited time, when you donate your car, you'll receive a $200 restaurant voucher and a 2-night, 3-day hotel stay at one of 50 locations. Call 1-800-983-6530 right now to schedule your vehicle donation and make a positive impact on the environment while helping others. Heritage for the Blind, where every car donation counts and every person makes a difference. Call 1-800-983-6530 now. This advertisement is paid for by Heritage for the Blind.
And it is Sedano Kap your Monday afternoon, live from the Commerce Casino on this Monster Reaction Monday. You know we like to play a TV theme when it's Radio Tinder time. On this day in 1982, Cheers premiered on NBC.
Everything you've got.
Who doesn't want to go where everybody knows your name? It's kind of like listening to this show. We know you. You may know who we are, but we know who you are. So you can follow her at Lindsay Baseball on Twitter or Instagram. Don't forget about our sponsor, Tequila Mandala. Always swipe right on Tequila Mandala, founded in the city of Downey, just like me. Take it away, birthday girl. Her birthday was over the weekend. Take it away, producer Lindsay.
Sometimes you want to go where everybody.
I feel like we just did this one, didn't we?
I don't know. Bam, bam, bam. And they're always glad you came.
I think it was Ted Danson's birthday.
You want to be where you
And that's why we played Cheers.
Troubles are all the same.
Never seen it. Never seen it.
You have a place? You never saw Cheers?
No. Knows.
Well, I mean, I can't really.
One of the greatest shows of all time.
I can't rip you on that just because I'm the guy who's never seen The Simpsons. I'm the guy who's never seen Family Guy.
Right. Yeah.
I've never seen any of those. Do you have a spot, George?
Yeah.
In your neighborhood.
That's like the Cheers?
That you call your Cheers.
not
That
really.
you go in, you go, everybody here knows my name. I know everybody who works here.
I don't literally go to bars that often. Like,
It doesn't have to just be a bar. It could
just
be a
to hang.
restaurant, you know?
I don't know. It's a great
How about you, Cappy? Do you?
Yeah, I do. I have a place I go to. In fact,
Well,
yesterday-
everyone knows Scott Kaplan.
Well, hey now.
He's the mayor, man.
I went yesterday morning. I go to the same place every Sunday morning. I know the owner, and I know the girl who's the waitress, and I seem to know everybody who's in there. And I sit there and I watch like the early games, and that's what I do on Sunday mornings. And yeah, so it's kind of what
Do you want to share the name of the place? Probably not.
Sure, no, it's fine. It's
Oh,
called
okay.
it's called Bestawan, and it's a little like it used to be, just like a little pizza place. But then a buddy of mine bought the place, and then he turned it into like a high-end like restaurant, even though he still kind of has the old school pizza thing to it. But yeah, it's my spot, you know.
So my Cheersy place back home in Berea, where I live. So they closed a lot of like the bars in that area, I guess, because college kids around BW, like Baldwin Wallace, they don't drink as much anymore. I don't know. So anyway, the Oriole Cafe. Shout out to the Oriole Cafe. Anytime I go home, if I go there for the holidays or whatever, like I'm guaranteed to know at least half the people in there because it's all the people that have lived there their whole life. And funny story about it, Nick Saban used to hang out there back when he was on the Browns coaching staff back in the day. So my dad would like see him there and be like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" And they would chat it up. So yeah.
See, everybody has like kind of a Cheersy kind of place, and when you know the place and you're known in the place and you know everybody in the place, you'll always say like, "That's my local Cheers."
You know now what is the call of those places? The name of those places?
A dive bar?
Starbucks.
Starbucks.
That's where everybody knows your name. If you go there every day, they know your name.
It's a good joke, Pepe. All right. So, Radio Center time. So I was reading, just like NFL news from over the weekend, and I saw the NFL winners and losers from the weekend from Yahoo because, I read that sometimes. And they're talking about how the Vikings are real, like they're for real, and even said that Sam Darnold could be a contender, like dark horse contender for MVP. So I want to ask you guys, like, is it too early at this point in the season, 4 games in, to like start talking like Sam Darnold MVP? Swipe left or swipe right?
Yeah, I'm going to go left on that only because, and I think Sam Darnold has been fantastic.
So it's not too early, or it is?
Well, it is too early.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, 4 games. It's a 17-game season. You know what I mean? Like, so there's a long way to go still before we start talking about MVP. I don't even think it's fruitful to be talking about MVP until at least the halfway point. Even then, I don't know if that makes a lot of sense. But he has been incredible. I saw on Fox Sports Peter Schrager, Good Morning Football, as well. He told a story about how the time with Shanahan, and I think people have talked about it, but I guess it was a more expanded version of that story on Good Morning Football about how his time with Shanahan really kind of helped mold him into the player he was now, and how there was a bit of a bidding war apparently for him. Washington was interested in bringing him in for a year. Minnesota obviously won that battle. They paid him $10 million, which is a lot of money for a backup quarterback, or at least because he wasn't being paid as a backup. He was going to be the starter this year.
But he was not. He
wasn't a long-term play.
He was Jacoby Brissett. He was a Band-Aid.
Right. But more than Jacoby Brissett because he's getting paid a lot more than Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, but I mean, he was not considered to be a long-term solution.
Right. Just a one-year thing.
I'm going to swipe left here also. First of all, it's too early to be talking about MVP. That's number one. Number two, I think I've expressed my feelings on individual awards, especially in the early part of a season. But the last part of it is this. Look, I'm so happy for Sam Darnold, and here's why. Because when you go to the Jets and then you find yourself going to the Panthers, let me ask you a question. Who has been successful in those places? I mean, even Aaron Rodgers now is finding how hard it is to be successful with the Jets, and we don't have to tell you about the story about what the Carolina Panthers have done. It looked good for a week for Andy Dalton. It didn't look so good the second week. To me, Sam Darnold is getting a chance now because he's grown up. He's had to face the hard times. It hasn't been this easy road of a first-rounder who becomes a starter and 3 or 4 years later gets a $60 million a year contract. He's had to deal with the adversity. And then I think you're right because they asked Brock Purdy after the game. They said, hey, are you surprised with how great Sam Darnold's doing? And Purdy said, if you guys would have asked me, I would have told you. Sam Darnold is an incredible player. He needed great coaching. He's got it. He had it last year in San Francisco. And then, hey, Kevin O'Connell, let's give a little shout-out to Kevin O'Connell. I know Kevin gets a lot of the, Sean McVay tree, but Kevin O'Connell was an accomplished position coach before he was the Rams offensive coordinator. So shout-out to Kevin O'Connell. I love the whole story a couple weeks ago of O'Connell's high school football team playing against Darnold's high school football team, and those two guys in a work collab. I love it. It's a great story. And by the way, Minnesota's the best team in football right now through 4 weeks.
I agree with you. It's too early, number one. And Sam Darnold was always a good quarterback. He was in the wrong teams, really. He got better with San Francisco, learning in San Francisco. And now, like you said, he's in Minnesota showing what he can do with good receivers, too. Because he has great receivers.
Amazing.
And Jordan Addison yesterday made
back.
his return and had 2 touchdowns, saved my fantasy ass.
Yeah. There we go.
Sam Darnold saved my fantasy ass.
Oh, really?
Picked him up off of, he was a free agent, and I was just like, because I had, anyway. Yeah, he saved me. I don't want to get too into my fantasy team because I know no one cares about my fantasy team. All right, so I found this on Instagram, this post on Instagram the other day, and I thought it was very interesting. So in London, they do Christmas tree rentals where they let you rent a Christmas tree and it's planted in a pot. And then in January, when Christmas is over, instead of just tossing your tree out to the side in the garage or the grass, right? They replant it back in the forest, and then once they reach 7 feet tall, they're retired. And so you don't rent them again anymore.
Oh.
So I don't know why they don't do this in the U.S. I don't know if you guys can
we need
help.
more trees, yeah.
Well, yeah, right, because it's like people buy the Christmas trees, they chop them down, and then they just throw them away.
We're not very good here in the sense of doing anything that
is environmentally friendly or smart.
Well, generally, but I would also say is we love excess too.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, the tree, get rid of it.
Yeah. So I was going to ask you guys if this was offered, but it wouldn't be dead in this situation. It'd be planted in a pot. If this was offered in the U.S., is this something you would be interested in?
I would do Cappy, no chance.
Yeah, it's like too much hassle, right?
No. Well, not only that, but let's consider two things.
I mean, Julia would.
Oh yeah,
totally
she'd think you were a hero.
My daughter, the environmentalist, would love it. But two things to consider: A, the Hebrew brother really doesn't have a Christmas tree, and B, when the Hebrew brother does have a Christmas tree, it's one of those fake white ones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wait, so you don't have a Christmas tree?
Yeah, it's fake. It's white. We call it.
I mean, he loves Christmas.
I do love Christmas.
Yeah.
In an American sort of way.
Yeah.
Less in a Christian sort of a way.
George, I remember last year.
Different kind of deal.
Yeah, you were debating on whether or not you should get a Christmas, like a real one or a fake one, right? And you got the real one.
No, we always get real ones.
Okay, maybe it was like you were just trying to figure out where to get it from.
Yeah.
And I remember when you got one, and you were saying
you're a real one.
Yeah,
I am a real
That's
one.
right.
You're a real one.
You are a real one.
As a kid growing up, we had fake one, and then ever since, my wife and I have always had real ones.
I got a fake white one. I got all these colorful lights on it. Yeah. In fact, you know what I got to do? Halloween is coming, right? And already my neighbors are decorating their houses for Halloween.
Yeah.
I got more crap, Halloween crap. I would love to give it to somebody or I don't even know.
Give it to your neighbor.
Yeah.
Oh,
just put it out in front of their house and just put it decorated for them.
Ask your neighbors if
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really have anybody with little kids around in the neighborhood anymore, you know?
Yeah. By the way, speaking of little kids, I took my kids and their friends to go see the movie Wild Robot.
Okay.
If you have kids, and now they got to be a little older, they got to be in that kind of 9 to 11, 12 range.
Yeah, how's Wild Robot?
Great movie.
Good movie, huh?
Excellent movie. A little bit of a tearjerker, as most of those movies are.
All right, I didn't know that.
Yeah, excellent movie. There's a series of books for kids, basically, the Wild Robot series. And this was based off the first book. Very well done.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good advice.
I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, Wild Robot. Very good movie. Yeah. I also, you know what else I had the other day happened to me? I've been meaning to tell you this for a week.
What?
I had an old school politician show up at my house.
An old school politician? You mean somebody knock on your door that wants to shake your hand?
Yes.
And say, vote for me.
And tell me why they wanted me to vote for them for the city council.
Male or female?
A male.
White or black? Or Asian or Hispanic? Okay.
And I was blown away, first of all, that somebody would still do that.
Okay, would you vote for him?
Honestly, I mean, his thought process seemed to align with mine.
You actually opened the door and let this person talk to you?
Yeah.
He's probably all right, who's this guy? What does he want?
You know what I do? Somebody knocks on my door. I go around. There's a little window. I look to see who it is. I'm like, I'm not here. Or I run away.
I talked to him. It was actually very refreshing to see someone knock on the door. And, you could see, he had he gave me his pamphlet or whatever. He had a bunch of them in a box or whatever. And then, we started talking for a few minutes. And, it was just nice.
I'm going to knock on your door. I'm going to try and sell you a collection of encyclopedias.
No, that's a different story.
I'm going to knock on your door and I'm going to try and sell you a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
No, you don't do that anymore.
He lived right down the street.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah. So it was very nice to have the old school approach.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You know what
I would
happened to
open
me?
the door for that.
You want to know what happened to me? I've been meaning to tell you this. Remember I told you the story last week about the old lady that fell over the dog and I had to pick her up and put her in my car and take her home. Remember that story?
No, I don't know.
You don't remember the story?
You didn't tell me this story.
Didn't I tell the story?
No.
You sure?
No, must have been on the grid.
You could tell us on the other side.
No, I don't think
Yeah,
it was.
tell us on the other side.
Maybe
no,
you weren't here.
It wasn't. I was not. Maybe you told Bergman.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't remember hearing it.
All right, I'll tell you what happened.
Pepe's here. We're here. Commerce Casino. But first, let me tell you, of course, Radio Tinder is presented by our friends at Tequila Mandala. Always swipe right. Tequila Mandala, award-winning small batch premium sipping tequila made from the finest mature agaves, available everywhere fine tequilas are sold. And visit their website, tequilamandala.com, to demand the extraordinary with Tequila Mandala. All right, so I want to hear this story because this is a very heroic story.
You have
Something
no idea what happened.
I would have remembered. I feel like
I told the story.
No.
I guess you weren't. Maybe you weren't here.
When was this?
This happened last week, I think.
No, I have not heard this story. But you know what I can tell? Speaking since I was giving advice to parents earlier about the movie Wild Robot. Hey, parents, I know that taking your kids to the dentist can be challenging. I get it, man. Choosing a dentist can be tough. You want to go to someone your kid can trust and enjoy going to the dentist with. This is where my friends at Children's Dental Fun Zone come in. Fun is in the name for a reason. First of all, you walk into one of these Children's Dental Fun Zones. It's going to feel like you walked into the Wild Robot. You walked into a cartoon when you walk into this place. The kids are going to be like, where did we go? Well, they have 18 locations across the Southland now, okay? So they got you covered in L.A. County. They got you covered in Orange County. They got you covered in the IE. And now they got you covered with a location in Oxnard, where they get the good strawberries, by the way.
Hey, shout out to the 805.
Yeah. Children's Dental Fun Zone specializes in children's dentistry and orthodontics with state-of-the-art equipment and personal attention your kids deserve. And when you go to Children's Dental Fun Zone, this is where fun gets in the name, okay? They offer movies for your kids, so every station has this big screen TV, and they can put whatever kids' movie they want on there for you. They got iPads for the kids, toys for the kids in the waiting area, and for parents, they accept Medi-Cal, PPO, and HMO insurance plans. So to book your child's first or next appointment at Children's Dental Fun Zone, go to their website, cdfzone.com. When you take your kids to Children's Dental Fun Zone, they're going to be like, Mom, Dad, when are we coming back to the dentist? Words you never thought you were going to hear. So book the appointment on their website, Children's Dental Fun Zone, cdfzone.com, or call them at 800-717-KIDS.
Going through a life change, whether you're downsizing, you've inherited a home, or you're just ready for a change, Seller's Advantage is here to make selling your home easy. They'll buy it as is with a competitive cash offer. With Seller's Advantage, you're in control. Close as quickly as you want and do it on your own terms. Check out their reviews online and call for a no-obligation offer at 888-390-AS-IS. That's 888-390-2747 or visit sellersadvantage.com.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Come to Carden Alleyway Hyundai and lease a new 2025 Hyundai Elantra SC for only $189 a month plus tax for 36 months, or $199% APR for 60 months, your choice. Plus, get peace of mind driving with America's best warranty. Carden Alleyway Hyundai just off the 91 freeway, or CardenAlleyWayHyundai.com.
Lease for $189 plus tax, license and fee to well-qualified buyers. 36-month lease, 10K miles per year, $29.99 due at signing. 1.99% APR at $28.64 per $1,000 finance. Not all buyers will qualify. Subject to HMF credit approval. Expires 9/30/2024.
Park, party, and play at Hollywood Park Casino. Join Travis Rogers and Kirk Morrison Sunday, October 6th for their live Rams postgame show from Ray's Lounge at Hollywood Park Casino. Win prizes and party with Travis, Kirk, and ESPN LA fans. Hollywood Park Casino is Los Angeles' premier card room casino and entertainment destination. Enjoy a postgame meal and drink at Ray's Lounge right after the game. Park, party, and play at Hollywood Park Casino. Elevate your game. Must be 21 and older.
Hey guys, it's producer Lindsay. Listen up, sports fans. Gear up for your next game day hang with your friends. What's on the menu? Sliders, wings, chips, and salsa? Well, all your favorite game day foods go great with Stella Rosa wines, a semi-sweet and semi-sparkling wine that must be served chilled. Stella Rosa can be found at your local retailer, so remember to grab a couple bottles next time you shop. Nothing sweeter than a cold glass of Stella Rosa and watching your team compete. Please celebrate responsibly.
If you have ever thought about remodeling your bathroom but were worried it would take too long or cost too much, then stop worrying. Right now, Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has designed a collection of high-quality custom products and perfected the one-day remodeling experience so you can enjoy your new bathroom faster than ever before. It's a worry-free bath remodel from the most trusted brand name in the business, Jacuzzi. A jacuzzi bath system fits in your existing tub space. It's a no-mess installation with an amazing style selection, factory-certified installers, and a limited lifetime warranty. Call 800-717-4599. That's 800-717-4599 right now and get 50% off installations with no interest and no payments for 12 months. Replace that old bathtub today with a walk-in shower for a safer bathing experience. If you have lived in your home for over 15 years, it's time to remodel your bathroom. For a virtual or in-home appointment, call 800-717-4599. That's 800-717-4599. 800-717-4599.
And it is Sedano and Kap, live from the Commerce Casino on this Monday afternoon. Get on out there, press the flesh with the crew, win fabulous prizes, a lot of cheap food, and the Sedano Sling on this Monster Reaction Monday. You can also get Michelob Ultra at Commerce Casino. Thanks to Michelob Ultra for making a Monster Reaction Monday possible. Right here on 710 ESPN.
Yeah.
This song has been in my head for like 2 weeks, and now it's just going to start all over again.
Why is that?
Because I was talking about T-Pain with Steffa, and he's gonna do a show soon, and I wanted to go to it. And I was like, oh, he has a great cover album, and he does all covers live, and it's so good. But he does this like live, and T-Pain can sing. He can sing.
He can sing.
Even without the auto-tune.
Exactly. Nobody ever believed that. They're like, oh, he's all auto-tune, but actually he has a lovely voice.
Lovely.
It's lovely.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Marvelous.
So, Cappy, tell me about you saving some elderly woman.
I didn't save her. I can't believe I didn't
That's
tell
what you
this.
said, though. You just said you saved her.
You did say you saved her.
Did I say I saved her life?
Yes.
Okay, maybe I did.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you the story. I thought for
No.
sure I told you.
Will you just tell the
Here's
story?
what happens. You ready? It's like 6:15 in the morning.
Yeah.
I leave my house.
Yeah.
I'm going to the gym.
Yeah.
I drive down the hill.
Yeah.
And I see this lady, and she's like connecting her dog to like a fire hydrant. I'm like, lady, what are you doing? And I turn right, and as I turn right, there's another lady with this big-ass dog. And this lady is down on the ground. She is down and out. And I now realize that the lady who's trying to tie her dog to the fire hydrant is trying to help the other lady.
Yeah.
So I roll down my window. I go, hey, you girls okay or what? And the one lady's like, no, she's down. She's hurt. I'm like, you guys need some help? They're like, yeah. So I pull my car over. I get out. I'm like, what happened? They're like, I don't know. This motorcycle came by. Her big-ass dog jumped up in the air. She fell over the dog. She's down, right? So I'm like, okay, well, how about if we try and get you up? I didn't realize she was hurt, So she's like, yeah, can you help me up? So I go to help her up, and as I help her up, she's like, oh, my God, I can't put any pressure on my right hip. So now I got to take this lady.
Oh, no.
I'm like, oh, geez. So I got to she's this little old lady.
Yeah.
I got to pick her up in my arms,
Yeah.
okay, and sit her in my car.
Right.
Oh, my gosh,
Right?
you really did this?
Yeah. So then I'm like, thank you very much, Omar. Thank you. Yeah. Then I try and take her big-ass smelly dog, and I try and open up the back of my car. I'm like, yo, get in.
What kind of dog was it?
This big, furry black dog. Giant. I'll show you a picture.
Okay.
So then the dog won't get in. The dog's like, no, man, I'm not going. I got to sit next to Mom. So now I got to put this big, smelly dog in my car. Dog smells like you can't believe. Like dog,
You can't help it.
Right? So now I drive this lady
Why
home.
do you smell like dog?
Yeah, yo, what's up, dog? You smell like dog. I take this lady home. She turns out, you ready for this? She lives right behind me. We share a fence. I never knew the lady.
Oh, my goodness.
So now I got to pick her up out of the car. There's blood all over my car. Ugh.
What? She was bleeding?
Yeah, her whole arm was all
How
bloody.
come you didn't take it to emergency?
Well,
Okay.
She said she was fine.
Great question. That's a great question,
Good
Pepe.
question, Pepe.
It's a great question.
Yeah.
Very
I should have
invested-
thought of that.
Right. It was mostly because the way she described it was she's like, I just need to get home. I need to get home. So she's like, my husband, his name is Scott. He's still sleeping. This is early in the morning. She's like, I just need to get home. So I drive her home. I get her out of the car. I pick her up. I stand her up.
You got the Bymans and Trimans
I got the
working.
guns going, right?
Yeah.
And I pick her up and I stand her up and I go, lady, listen, I think I got to get you in the house. She's like, oh, no. So she literally stood there in her front pressure. She's calling her daughter. Her daughter's going to come take care of her. She can't get a hold of her husband. I'm like, lady, are you sure? She's like, yeah, I'm fine. Just please, go ahead. You got me home. This morning, I'm driving home from
Where's
the
the
gym.
dog at this
The dog, I opened her front gate and I put the dog in the house.
Yeah.
This morning I'm walking, I see the guy and the dog. I don't know the husband, but I know the dog.
Right.
I pull up, I roll down my
said,
window.
"Yo, dog, I know you."
I'm like, yo, what's up, doggy?
Yeah.
And the guy goes, and I go, hey man, I go, are you Scott? And he goes, yeah. I go, oh, I'm the guy who drove your wife home. He's like, oh, he shakes my hand. Dude, I thought the guy was gonna start crying, like right there on the spot. She broke her pelvis.
Oh, of course
She
did.
broke her pelvis, this old lady.
Yeah.
Dang, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
I know, and I was like, man, maybe I shouldn't have moved her, I didn't want them to blame me or something.
No, if she broke her pelvis, it was well before you picked her up.
Yeah. Oh no, she was, dude. It was bad, man. And so, yeah.
Wow, Cappy, good job. You're like a good Samaritan.
I am like listen. Hey, thanks a hell of a lot, everybody. Thank you so
a good
much.
Samaritan.
Anybody needs me to pick them up, put them in the car.
But not the dog.
And the smelly dog.
Not
And
the
if
dog.
You got a really smelly, disgusting dog, let me know.
So actually, the dog introduced you to his owner because you didn't know Scott.
Yeah. Right. I did not know Scott.
And they're
the
your
dog
neighbors,
owner.
And your neighbors, and your name is Scott, and you didn't even know them.
Didn't even know them. And now we're like, we're kind of tight, I think.
Yeah?
I'm looking for, oh, here she is. Look, I took a picture just so I had like evidence. Look at the size of this dog.
Yeah.
Look at this poor old lady. She's in the back of my car.
I mean, that had to hurt, too, the dog on top of her pelvis.
Look,
Wait, what were you thinking that you were like, oh, this poor lady?
No, I was like, I better
You're like, I
take
need
a-
evidence.
I need like a picture, like just in case they come back to me.
Oh, no.
Like, hey, this guy hurt me. You know. I was like, no, I actually was trying to do a nice thing.
No, you did the right thing.
Yes, and so there
Good for
she
you,
is in
Cap.
the back of my car, and then I had to wash the blood from her elbow off my car.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, you definitely did not tell us that story.
Yeah, It's just there's always something, man. It's just always
It's very
something.
true. Your life is totally a curb.
Whoopie-doo.
Right.
Episode.
By the way, have you guys seen the video that went viral on the internet of some lady getting walked off by the cops on an airplane, and somebody's phone accidentally went off with this
that's
song,
funny.
and the entire airplane starts cracking up.
That's good.
Yeah. All right. We got 1 more hour to go from Commerce Casino. Let's get into it. The
Yeah.
worm has turned.
Yes, it has.
We'll talk some football. We're back to the Rams, back to the Raiders, back to USC, the weekend that was in the NFL and college football. We got Morrison Monday also coming up here.
We're going commercial 3 for the next 30 minutes.
Correct. So stick around. Hang out with us, 710 ESPN.
Hey, football fans, there is nothing sweeter than a cold glass of Stella Rosa and watching your team compete. But Stella Rosa wants to make it even sweeter and hook you up with the chance to win an experience to the biggest game of the college football season. You could win 2 tickets to the game, airfare, and a hotel for you and a friend. Head over to ESPNLADreamTicket.com to enter the Dream Ticket Sweepstakes presented by Stella Rosa, America's favorite semi-sweet, semi-sparkling wine. Please celebrate responsibly. Must be 21 or older to enter.
Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Paid for by Cars for Kids. Park, party, and play at Hollywood Park Casino. Join Travis Rogers and Kirk Morrison Sunday, October 6th for their live Rams postgame show from Ray's Lounge at Hollywood Park Casino. Win prizes and party with Travis, Kirk, and ESPN LA fans. Hollywood Park Casino is Los Angeles' premier card room casino and entertainment destination. Enjoy a postgame meal and drink at Ray's Lounge right after the game. Park, party, and play at Hollywood Park Casino. Elevate your game. Must be 21 and older.
710 ESPN, your home for the 17-time world champion Lakers.
KSPN Los Angeles, a Good Karma Brands radio station. This is the city, Los Angeles, California. It's 5 p.m. in the Southland. Time to blow that 5 o'clock whistle with Sedano and Cappy.
That's right, it's the 5 o'clock hour on Sedano and Cap. And it's time for 30 minutes non-stop.
Sedano and Cap on 710 ESPN.
With fun and frivolity, tomfoolery and hijinks, and Cappy doing his thing. Thanks to our friends at Real Fathers Rights. Real Fathers Rights, the father's rights attorney. Visit realfathersrights.com or call 951-482-7517. Let's do it, 5 o'clock in the Southland.
30 minutes of non-stop Sedano and Cap starts now.
You ready for this?
And time for the Real Father's Rights 5 o'clock hour on 710 ESPN. Let's do it, Jack!
Ba-da-ba.
Yeah.
Do-da-da-da. Let's interrupt it.
Okay, calling
Something a little
timeout.
different.
A Sedano and Cap timeout.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lazy Baseball. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, baseball.
Cappy got you the cake.
Wait. Before you blow out the candles, like, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. Like, do people still blow out candles?
Post-COVID, you're saying? Just joking. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Blow out the candles, girl. Make a big old wish.
There you
Oh,
go.
hey, nice
All
job.
right.
Baseball. Good lungs.
They're not trick candles.
Solid lungs.
I always like some trick candles. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Cappy. Thanks for getting that. It was very
welcome.
nice of you.
All right.
I thought we were doing like the club sandwich with the candles in it.
So
No,
I
actual
told
But you got the real cake.
I-
Thank you.
I
I didn't
told-
get any cake all weekend.
Nothing but cake.
Yeah, and I got the red velvet.
Cut that thing up.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I figure everybody would be here.
Lindsay
you know?
gets the first piece. We all get a piece. We're
Circle
good.
of trust would be in the house.
Yeah.
You know.
I once overdosed on red velvet cake pops.
Oh, wow.
I do
I was
like
sick for days.
I like the red velvet at this nothing bundt cake. You know what I mean? I had to call them
What is
today.
that? Velvet? It's beautiful.
Right. I had to call these people today, and I'm like such an idiot because I never do things like this, you know. So I'm like, hi, these cakes you guys have, like, do you have to order them and then you make them, or do you guys like have any of them? And they're like, well, which one do you want? And I'm like, well, I think I want the red velvet. And they're like, oh, that's one that we always have standard, ready to go. Yeah. I'm like, all right. So then I get there, and then I'm like, okay, so this is a nice cake. And they're like, well, do you want to like make all the birthday decorations all over it?
You're like, no.
No. Here's my answer. How long does it take? And they're like, 10 to 15 minutes. I'm like, if you could do it in 5, I'll do it.
Yeah.
They're like, no, I can't guarantee 5. I'm like, come on, girl.
You mean you didn't ask how much does it cost?
I did not ask how much it cost because I was more concerned with the time. Than the cost. Now, once they say to me, yes, we can do it in 5 minutes.
Then he would have been the follow-up
Then
question.
I say how much.
Yeah.
Then they tell me $25 to add to the cake. Then I'm like, oh, forget it. I'll just take the cake.
I feel like custom decorations should be like, okay, we'll throw that in, standard at this point. But thank you very much. That was nice of you.
You are welcome. I mean, listen, the other thing is candles. Like, that's the thing about birthday cakes is that you got to always make sure you buy the candles because, like me, I'm so dense, I would have been like, hey, we show up at Commerce Casino, they're going to have plenty of candles.
No.
Why would they have candles? So I had to actually buy the candles.
Yeah.
And then I had to leave it to the guys to decide how many candles to put on the cake. Seemed like you guys went very conservative with only 4 candles.
Yeah.
Rather than the entire box, which I don't know, may have been more than Lindsay's years or less than Lindsay's years. I don't know.
I'm only 4.
4? Oh, so she's 4.
So it's perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
I'll tell you right now, that red velvet cake is good. I like that cream cheese.
I've never had a nothing bundt cake.
Oh,
There
yeah,
you go.
man.
Now you have. Now you will.
And what I really like about the little red velvet thing is there's always like these little surprise chocolate chips in there.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
get
in
you,
there.
too.
Well, because red velvet is chocolate.
Oh, really?
Tell me you're not serious.
No, I thought red velvet was like its own thing.
I didn't know that it was chocolate.
Yeah, it's just with dye.
It is?
Nuh-uh, really?
just chocolate
But chocolate's dark.
It's chocolate with red dye.
I didn't
I need to
know
Google
that
this.
either.
See, I need to Google this.
Yes.
But
red velvet
anyways,
cake is chocolate cake with dye.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That is wild.
On a side note, remember that you told me about the restaurant in Las Vegas where they serve breakfast at the Park MGM?
Yes. Oh, yeah. At
My friends.
Primrose.
Oh,
Really,
Best Friends is the
Best
Korean
friend, yeah,
barbecue. place.
really good. And then
Primrose,
they have a truck that sells Cuban sandwiches.
Oh, I did not know
Outside.
that. No, look at that. Yeah, Primrose, my favorite breakfast spot
Very
in
good.
Vegas.
Where's it at?
Really
At
good.
Park MGM.
All right.
Really good.
All right, here comes baseball.
Oh, there you go,
birthday
baseball.
cake.
Look at that. That
Here
looks
comes
good.
birthday cake for
Thanks,
baseball.
Grant.
Oh, baseball.
Oh, look at that.
Look at the
Baseball.
birthday girl.
There we go.
Look at the birthday girl.
It is, you're right, a cocoa-based cake with a tangy flavor and red color.
There it is.
See, I didn't know that.
There you
Fight on.
Fight
on.
on.
Speaking of which,
Fight
Cappy,
on.
you,
Fight on.
you were at the game.
I was at the
Miller
game.
Moss took a big hit. I was worried, but he came back in the game. And USC avoided disaster, asserted their dominance after the first half struggles. Yeah, I'll take some of that. Thank you.
You want to know something about this game?
Yeah.
And this was an observation that was made in the pregame, and it wasn't really made by me. I was standing there talking to one of the USC athletic directory types, and the one thing I did notice, it sort of played out in the first half, and thankfully USC made their plays in the second half, and really I think won the game in terms of on offense with skilled players. But the Wisconsin team. And this is something that USC will have to deal with over the next few years.
The offensive line was mauling them at the beginning.
And they're just bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, how they recruit, where they recruit from, the types of players that they recruit, they're just monsters, And if you were to just line up the USC team and line up the Wisconsin team and not know who's who, you would see that Wisconsin just outsized them.
Right away.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. There was the play, I want to say it was the latter part of the third quarter, where Miller Moss, the USC is down. This is at this point, I want to say it's like 24-21. USC had taken the lead in the game. But Miller Moss brings the offense down, and it's late in the third quarter, and he rolls out to the right, makes a move.
Gets upended into the end zone.
But he flips into the end zone, and it was a great play. They reviewed it. It was a touchdown. And at that point, it became 31-21, and USC was well in control of that game. So at that point, I had to beat the traffic.
Yeah. I look at USC's schedule, and I still feel we're on track for probably around a 9-3-ish type of season. Maybe a 10-2 if things break their way. 8-4 if they get some bad luck, right? Like, I think, and again, this is all Miller Moss staying relatively healthy, right? Because, I think Maeva can be a good quarterback, but, it's hard to get thrusted in to the middle of the season if something like that were to happen. But I think that those are reasonable expectations for this team right now.
Well, I think the expectations obviously changed with the LSU win, and then reality hit with the Michigan loss. But at least with this Wisconsin win, you can look at it and say, hey, these guys were down in the first half. They did not look very sharp in the first half, and they found a way to, as a coaching staff, make adjustments and as players make plays in the second half. So now the next game up is against Minnesota. And last week, you and I were having this conversation about Minnesota, and you said, hey, don't overlook those guys. And, last week, Minnesota had
Almost
played
beat
against
Michigan.
Michigan. Right. And they lost 27-24.
Yeah.
The previous week, they had lost against Iowa. It seemed like a pretty convincing win for Iowa.
Right.
Otherwise, their resume is not all that impressive.
They lost to North Carolina.
And North Carolina, by the way, I
lost to Duke after a 20-point lead.
Is that what happened? Because I didn't see the end of that.
They were up 20-0.
And they wound up losing that game? Mm-hmm. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
You're telling
So
me
actually, USC should beat Minnesota.
Yes, they should.
They should, but what I'm saying is Minnesota's not a pushover.
And the game's at Minnesota. First time they're in this, stadium, which, to me, it's, anytime you got to travel like this, a new environment, first year in the conference, I don't think it's any guaranteed win. The next week, and I know you can't look past Minnesota, but when you're home
against Penn State,
against
big
Penn
game.
State,
That's going to be
a tough
going to be a big game. That's either going to be on NBC at night or the nighttime window, or it's going to be a CBS 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific type game. That's going to be a national window big time game.
And just as you look at the rest of the schedule, and some players and coaches are going to have to do it one by one.
Yeah.
But when I look down the schedule and I see Rutgers, and I see how Rutgers this past weekend
played well.
They beat Washington.
They've played well.
And Washington may not be Kyle DeBoer's Washington team that was in the national whatever his name is, last year's national championship caliber.
Kyle's his brother, though. I heard he's pretty good.
Okay, him too. Listen, I'm just saying, Rutgers no pushover either.
I know Greg Schiano's good, man. He's a good coach.
I've been a fan of his for a long time.
But USC should win that one. Okay.
They should. But again, Pepe, what we're saying is USC fan goes into this as cocky USC fan, and they're like, oh, Rutgers, they stink because they've always stunk. And they're not. They don't stink anymore.
They cannot do that. But the thing that worries me, how many games do they have during the real winter?
No,
all
of them are here. All of them are here.
I mean,
so they don't have to worry about the winter.
Washington is the only cold weather game, and they've played that game a million
And
times.
it's early November. Yeah. So, maybe raining.
Right. They're not going to, Ohio State in November.
And Michigan, they already played.
Or even Minnesota in November would have been tough.
Yeah.
Right. But anyway, so there's that. Then let's move on to the UCLA was rough. I watched a few minutes of that, and I had to turn it off.
I actually chose to watch, rather than watch UCLA and Oregon.
I switched over to Arizona, Utah.
I watched Boise State and Washington State.
Right,
and
on the CW.
And it was a great game.
On KTLA.
It was a very, very entertaining game.
Yeah, I went and I watched Utah and Arizona, which was also a very entertaining game on ESPN, supporting my own, company.
Who's that?
ESPN.
Oh, them.
Yeah, in that scenario.
Gotcha.
No offense to the CW.
Yeah, I thought the game was on Fox Sports 1, to be honest with you.
Oh, was it on Fox Sports 1? Because the CW also has Washington State games.
Oh, yeah?
That's why.
Yeah, I'm only interested because now that the Pac-12 has 2 holdovers and they're trying to rebuild themselves through the Mountain West, I just have to laugh at them and go, what is wrong with you people? I mean, honestly, you can have the name Pac-12 and you can have the logo Pac-12, but just because you take the best of the worst of the Mountain West, come on, guys, really?
Yeah. All right, so then the Rams fall short. Speaking of getting mauled, Chicago's defense mauled the Rams' offensive line. Matthew Stafford was getting destroyed in that game. He throws a couple of interceptions, one early that cost them a touchdown. It was in the end zone. Right. Ended up being a touchback for them. So it would have put them up 10-0 at the time. They were up 6-0 on the next drive. So they would have been up 13-0 on the road. That could have changed some things.
And the missed field goal also.
And the missed field goal, that's true. So they had their opportunities to win that game, and then Matt Stafford throws the interception with a minute to go. But that was a tough spot. You're inside your own 10. Like, whatever. It is what it is. But it was a winnable game, and I feel like this is where we're going to be with the Rams until they get healthy, and hopefully for their sake it happens sooner rather than later. They're going to be in a lot of these games, but I just don't know if they've got enough to get themselves over the hump.
Right. And then, this upcoming week, you play against the Packers at home, and then you've got a little bit of a break before you take on the Raiders, and you'll hope to get guys back by
Well,
that
I heard
time.
Cooper Kupp could be back.
Possible, yeah, that's what they're saying. But, listen, the Vikings were destroying the Packers.
Yeah.
And if you didn't see the game and you only saw the final score and you said, hey, 31-29, Packers made a big comeback. Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
But it wasn't enough to win. Minnesota was killing them. So I got to think that and I haven't looked at the line yet in this game, but I would think that the Packers would be the favorite, even though the game is at SoFi. I'm just taking a look right now. I don't see a line. I'll figure it out. But listen, the Rams, you do not win football games in the NFL when your offensive line is destroyed. And then throw on top of that your top two wide receivers are out. And listen, some of these guys have done a very admirable job, and even tight end has made a contribution. But it's hard enough to win at full strength, let alone win when you've had as many injuries as these guys have had, the Rams. And by the way, that's really the story of what happened yesterday to the Chargers as well. The Chiefs have, and you can look back to every game the Chiefs have played this year. Every game is close. They don't blow anybody out.
They don't play in that good.
Yeah, they're like the Chiefs are one of these teams that they're 4-0, but I don't really think they're the best team in football right now.
Yeah.
They're the defending champs and they're unbeaten, but I don't think they're the best team right now.
They also just knocked out their best wide receiver in a
Rashid
kind of
Rice?
friendly fire, in that game, early in that game in the first quarter.
Right, I mean,
By the way, the early line is Green Bay -3.5.
Okay, there you go. But, look, here's the Chargers this weekend, right? They've got a chance because they get 2 early turnovers, turn it into points. But didn't you just feel like watching that game that at some point the Chiefs were going to do what the Chiefs always do, which is find a way to win?
Yes.
And the Chargers were going to do what they always do, which is find a way to lose. And this goes back to what I was trying to explain to everybody in week 1 of the NFL season. Remember when Bill Plaschke, Bill, get your short skirt and your pom-poms, man, for real.
Oh,
Give me a
man.
break, brother. Like, in week 1, it's like, they don't charge her anymore. Now they Harbaugh. Oh, really? Have you looked at the rushing statistics over the last couple of weeks? They don't Harbaugh. They get Harbaugh'd, okay? Reality strikes. Right tackle hurt. Left tackle hurt. Supposed best pass rusher hurt. Supposed best defensive player suspended. And a quarterback who's playing on one leg, and I give the guy all the credit in the world. He's a warrior. He's a tough guy. But when you don't have your offensive line and you're playing on one leg, you are compromising yourself and the team for the rest of the year. Don't sell me on Harbaughing because the Raiders turned the ball over 3 times. Give me a freaking break, man.
Rack him.
I told you this was coming. I tried to tell you this was coming. These guys don't listen.
10 wins still.
So
we'll see.
So, Capi, do you
Yes, sir.
think the Chargers will finish with a worse record than the Raiders?
I don't think he'd go that far.
Well,
we should ask Kirk Morrison what he
Okay,
thinks.
let's get to Kirk.
Let's get to Kirk Morrison. It is Morrison Mondays. All right, let's ask you that first, and then we'll work our way to the Rams and the college football landscape. Because actually, Kirk did the game you just asked me about, that
the North Carolina Duke game.
But there he is, Kirk Morrison with us here. Rich Homie Kwan. May he rest in peace is his entrance music. Yes, R.I.P. Captain.
Wait, are we going to say RIP to him every single week?
Yes.
Okay.
Every week. Yep.
Just making sure.
You can rest in peace.
Yep.
Rest in peace multiple times. So, Kirk, who's going to finish with a better record, the Chargers or the Raiders?
Say the Raiders.
I truly, honestly believe, deep down in my heart, I feel like the Raiders will have a better record. And this is the reason why I say that.
Yeah, these people
This
got
is the
all
reason why I
excited.
say that.
Yeah.
Listen to these fans. They got all excited here.
Yeah.
Only because we are one play away from Justin Herbert going down, and then we get a chance to see Easton Stick. And if Easton Stick comes into
Well,
the
it's not
game,
even
it's just
Easton
going to be
Stick. It's Taylor Heineke now.
Taylor, how do I say Easton Stick? Taylor Heineke. Yeah, so you're one play away from Taylor Heineke going into the game like we saw the week before. So that's why I keep saying that's what it's going to come down to.
Did you see the heavy tape? It felt like Herbert had like 2 rolls of tape on his foot.
It looked like he had that on there. It's just, to me, when I watched the Chargers play, you knew watching the game on Sunday, and for my buddies were like, man, you see the Chargers hanging with the Chiefs? I said, don't worry. Just be patient. It'll happen. And what happened? Patrick Mahomes,
You know it.
the Chiefs, they figure it out. And then what happened at the end of the day, it was all those people who I saw at LAX when I got back last night with the full Chiefs uniform on. So I didn't know that the Chiefs fans, they all wear white jeans with the red jersey. That's like new Chiefs uniform. Had no idea, but that's what every person at LAX last night after the game had on when I came back from Chicago seeing the Rams.
Okay, well there you go.
Let me just explain one thing. And Kirk, this is what I was trying to.
Talk about the fashion?
Well, not about that.
That's what I thought you were going to weigh in on.
But Kirk, this
no
is
white jeans after Labor Day, you know?
This is what I was trying to tell everybody. Week 1, the Chargers beat the Raiders. The Raiders turned the ball over 3 times. The Raiders have essentially a new coach. They've got a new quarterback. And by the way, the Chargers have a new coach and new coaching staff too. But they have virtually the roster that they had a year ago, minus a couple of wide receivers and a running back. Okay? So the first week, it's like the Chargers are different. Everything is different now with Jim Harbaugh. The worm has turned, and now they Harbaugh. They no longer Charger. Week 2, they go to Carolina. They go to Carolina. They beat the worst team in the NFL, and we all know what happened, how Carolina got Andy Dalton into the starting lineup.
Hold on. And who did Carolina beat for their only win of the season this year? I just want to check.
Sadly, they beat the Raiders.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
Yeah.
But give the Raiders credit, because the Raiders, after being
Lost
challenged
Carolina.
by their coach, the Raiders wind up coming back and getting this win yesterday.
Andy Dalton's like Cappy's age.
But I tried to tell you guys.
So you're going to give the Raiders credit for losing against Carolina?
No, I'm going to give the Raiders credit for coming back the week before, coming back the week after. But here's the bottom line with the Chargers. Yeah. The reason the Chargers season will go to hell quickly is because they have the same problem every year. Doesn't matter the coach, doesn't matter where they train, doesn't matter where they play, doesn't matter what city they call home. They can never keep anybody healthy, and that's why their season will fall apart, and it's already started. That's all.
The worm will turn, though. Look, let me look at this Raiders schedule real quick, okay? And then we'll get to the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
Broncos, not a gimme anymore in Denver, right?
Yeah.
Agreed? Not a gimme?
Agreed. Not a gimme. Not a gimme anymore. Bo Nick's
Steelers.
playing.
You want? Let me tell you something about Las Vegas. Las Vegas is not Oakland, okay? In the sense of that stadium is going to be filled with terrible towels.
Of course it will be.
In that game.
Yins are going to come down over to Vegas in that.
Okay? It's going to be Steeler country in Las Vegas that week, okay? So that's a loss. The Rams will – now, in 3 weeks, the Rams will be look a lot different. By then, they could have 2 wide receivers back potentially, right? By then, they could have even more offensive linemen back, okay? So that's not a gimme. Then the Chiefs, even though they play them tough, not a gimme. I know the Bengals are not playing well, but I still would not want to play Joe Burrow on the road. And Tua should be back for a couple of weeks by the time they go to Miami for that 10 a.m. game. Like, this is not an easy schedule for them moving forward. And then they still have the Broncos and Chiefs again after that. And that only is through November.
But they got a head coach who believes in them and a head coach that challenges them.
Yeah,
I like what
yeah.
I like what
Way
Cappy
to go, Coach
said,
Pierce.
man.
Come on, man.
Way to go, Coach
what Cappy said,
way to go, Coach.
What'd he say? Hey, if you don't want to play, we're going to make some business decisions. Business decisions. They won that game without Devontae Adams yesterday, without Max Crosby. You don't think people saw that? I was aware of that. That was a more confident win yesterday for the Raiders, for the dudes that's on that squad. To say, look, man, if we do things right, we can win football games. And we did it without our 2 best players. I thought that was a bigger win than maybe people even give them credit for.
That's cool to do that to Cleveland, who's been terrible. Okay? But let's see what happens the rest of the way. Let's just see, okay? I still think their max ceiling is an 8-win team.
You know, Kirk, George Sedano has decided, and I give him credit, I do. It takes a lot of balls. He has become Raider hater number 1.
It's not about hater. It's Raider realist.
Raider hater.
It's reality.
Raider realist.
It's reality.
Raider hater in the house.
You're a Chargers hater.
That's right. And I applaud George for becoming a Raider hater.
All right, let's talk Rams here. You were there. That offensive line got completely overwhelmed. To me, that was the biggest difference in the game.
I think more so in the second half, the confidence for that Chicago Bears team. They just played well. The Rams they dominated the first half, but yet they kept kicking threes, man. Like, you can't kick threes on the road. You got to score touchdowns, and that was their red zone offense that was not working. What I found out last night, or yesterday, I should say, if Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua don't hurry back from injury, the Rams are in a world of hurt because they don't have a go-to guy, right? Like, every team has a go-to guy. I gotta have it, right? I kind of compared it to, like, in the NBA, right? If we're talking Lakers, if you need a bucket, throw it down to LeBron, let LeBron operate. He'll find a way to get you a bucket. When the Dodgers need a hit and Shohei Ohtani comes up, that's your gotta-have-it guy. You know you're gonna get a hit. The Rams on that same wavelength, when they need a play, they don't have a guy right now. And it's not Kyron Williams because he's the running back, but they needed Cooper Kupp, who was your guy in the red zone for so many years, and yet he's not available. And the Rams kind of look like, who's going to make the play? That's what I saw yesterday. They missed out too many times in the red zone.
Yeah, and you know what? Listen, I'll give some credit. Hey, Tutu Atwell, to his credit, he has stepped up, but he's not a number one receiver.
Yeah.
You know, but I give the kid
Cappy,
credit.
He's a 2020 guy. You know what a 2020 guy is, Cappy?
You mean he was drafted in 2020?
No,
You mean he's got really good vision?
No, not where he was drafted, not his vision.
Oh.
He's really only good in between the 20s, like the 20-yard line. Because once you get inside the 20 red zone, he's a burner. But once you get that field nice and tight, you get in that red zone, Tutu shrinks.
It's really hard for him.
Too small.
And that's
Very
where the
small.
Rams, he's too small when it comes to that red zone. The Rams, like we were just talking Chargers and Chiefs. When the Chiefs get into that red zone, you already know it's Travis Kelce time, right? The Rams need that guy. They need the guy in the red zone. And if Cooper Kupp is not going to be here healthy right now, they got to figure it out until they get to this bye week, which is after Green Bay coming up.
So, Kirk, I thought that Robinson was going to be better yesterday, and he was not a factor at all.
Yeah, he
The
got chewed out by
receiver
Sean McVay. Yeah, I know you're
Yeah.
Demarcus Robinson. He got chewed out by Sean McVay yesterday. But you
I
remember,
don't understand
you're-
that.
Well, you're trying to see. So what happens is this: guys have to elevate their roles. Demarcus Robinson was your 3. Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua gets hurt. They're asking him to be the 1. He's not a 1, right? He's not your number 1. He's your number 3. So he's trying to make number 1 plays, and it's just not been there for him. He's getting a different matchup. He's getting the best cornerback from the Chicago Bears. And the Bears secondary, Brisker, Jalen Johnson, Gordon, those guys had a field day. I expected more from him, Pepe, but you got to remember, he's not their number 1 option. He's more of a number 3 option. And so he's also waiting for Cooper Kupp and those guys to come back from injury.
All right, Kirk Morrison with us here. Let's talk a little college football. USC, a tale of two halves. Obviously, first half, it looked like, maybe this Big Ten experiment's not going to go so well. And then in the second half, they made some adjustments. They started getting the ball quickly to the playmakers because they were getting beat on both lines of scrimmage, and that changed the game. They were able to out-athlete them because they got the ball out faster. What do you think the ceiling is, and the floor maybe even is, for USC? What is the floor? What is the ceiling as you look at the rest of the season if they have relative health?
Yeah, if they have relative health, this is a team that's going to be that next tier when it comes to the Big Ten. I think right now, tier 1 in the Big Ten, obviously, you got to put Ohio State. We'll see what Penn State is all about, but Penn State, they only lose 2 games a year, one to Michigan, one to Ohio State. So we'll see where that looks like. I'm going to throw, right now, Oregon is going to be in that conversation in terms of top teams in the Big Ten. And so I just named those teams only. Look, Nebraska and Illinois right now are some dogs. Nobody wants to play them.
They're in that second tier. They're in the second tier with USC, at least at the moment. Yes.
And that's the hard part is that can USC break through from that second tier? It's going to be jumbled up. That middle pack of the Big Ten, that's where USC is going to, I think, find themselves. They're going to have a couple more big wins down this stretch. But I feel like if Miller Moss can continue to keep growing throughout this season, and if Lincoln Riley can kind of commit to the running game a little bit more, I can see this team winning 10 games, right? This is a 10-2 ball club. Not saying they're a conference championship, but they can get to about 10 games. But right now, this is going to be very difficult if they want to put it on the shoulders of their quarterback to say, hey, throw it. This just isn't the conference, especially when the season starts to change and it gets a little bit colder down the stretch.
Yeah, but again, their schedule is very favorable.
Right, they don't have the cold weather crazy game.
I mean, late in the
but
season.
They still got Notre Dame. They still got, they got some teams on that schedule that's going to be very difficult. That they're going to lose a game and they're favored. That's what's going to happen.
Well, and that's why this weekend's game.
They're playing.
But that's why this weekend's game is so important at Minnesota, because we look at Minnesota and we see their resume so far, and we go, hey, listen, they lost by 3 last week to Michigan, but prior to that, listen, they lost to North Carolina, Minnesota. We saw North Carolina last week give up 70 to James Madison, and George pointed it out. The game you called this past weekend, I actually went to sleep on it. I thought, wow, North Carolina made a recovery this week and beat Duke. I honestly did not go back and look to realize that North Carolina – they ultimately.
I was sitting there watching it on the flight. I text Kirk after the game was over, and yeah, man, Duke came back to beat North Carolina.
How'd my boy Ozzie Nicholas play, by the way?
Ozzie Nicholas, I almost gave Scott Kaplan a shout out because Ozzie Nicholas, your boy, your homeboy's son, went out there and had a couple nice plays. He started at middle linebacker. He's an Ivy League grad.
Dude.
Yeah, almost got that. But he's an Ivy League grad. He's playing some good football, but. I just love this pageantry of college football. Did you guys stay up? Like for me, I was on the East Coast, but I stayed up until the end of that Georgia-Alabama game. That was pure cinema. Like that was that was college football.
Oh, but we watched beyond that because I was
watching Arizona, Utah, and UCLA, Oregon. I had gotten back home by then.
And I watched Washington State, Boise.
You didn't watch the Alabama game?
No, I was
yeah,
asleep.
of course.
Oh, what a game!
Oh, we watched the late games.
Yeah.
Boise State, Washington State. I was telling George, I'm like, that was an amazing game.
See, I
For Boise
understand the
State.
East Coast bias. Yeah, I understand the East Coast biase. I really do. Because
it's too hard to stay up, man.
By that time, it's too hard to stay up. I'm looking at that clock, and the clock starts saying midnight, and that UCLA-Oregon game was like just kicking off, and I'm like, I love Oregon, I love UCLA, Deshaun Foster, but I also love my sleep. And so my sleep was more important than watching Oregon, UCLA. And a lot of people told me, don't worry. Well, yeah, the sleep was much better. The sleep was way better than watching that game.
All right, Kirk Morrison with us here. Morrison Mondays, 5:15 every Monday. Kirk, you are the man. What do you have upcoming this week?
Upcoming this week, I'm heading to Stillwater, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma State. Who are they playing?
Yeah, the West Virginia Mountaineers versus the Oklahoma State Cowboys.
Cappy's rivals, the West Virginia Mountaineers.
That's right. And actually, I was kind of hoping one of you guys would get this game this week. Pitt UNC, University of North Carolina.
So I'll tell you this, Cappy, week 7, either Kirk or I may get your Pitt Panthers week 7 because I saw on the schedule it's either going to be like ESPN, ESPN2, or ACC Network for Pitt. So there's a chance that Kirk or I end up with your Pitt Panthers again.
Well, I mean, listen, they beat North Carolina this week. They'll be 5-0. They'll finally break into the top 25, and people maybe give them a little bit of attention. Nobody's buying them yet.
Eli Holstein, baby.
That's right.
Eli Holstein. That's the matchup. There we go.
Yep. All right, Kirk, thank you so much, brother. Appreciate you as always.
All right, fellas. Y'all be well.
See you. Right back to you.
Cappy. All right, Kirk Morrison there. We've got Big Deal or No Deal coming up next. But first, tell them about your good friend.
Hello, Avner Gatt. Listen, when you call that phone number, 818-917-5256, 818-917-5256, you call, Avner's going to answer the phone. He's going to say hello. You're going to know it's him. Hey, listen, if you go to Avner Gatt's website, I'm going to do it right now because I want to really point this out for you. If you go to Avner Gatt, AVNERGAT.com, AvnerGatt.com, what you're going to see is, first of all, Avner Gatt has got an entire army of people that work for him, and those people are his family. And I don't mean just purely blood relatives. I mean people who work for him become family. They work for him for a really, really, really long time. You can learn all about the different folks who work for Avner Gatt. But listen, what is the reason that you would be calling Avner Gatt? Let's say you have major water damage in your home. Let's say you have, unfortunately, a fire that does damage to your home. Let's say perhaps, people come in, there's theft and there's loss as a result. Or perhaps there's an earthquake and you have a lot of damage to your house. You call Avner Gatt because Avner Gatt is going to deal with the insurance company so that you don't have to. Dealing with and negotiating with your homeowner's insurance company can be a very difficult, very complicated, very tricky proposition. And it takes a professional, someone who knows what they're doing. Avner Gatt has been in this business for 20-plus years. Avner Gatt has all the 5-star reviews, Google, Yelp, the Better Business Bureau, that tells you that he's been highly successful, and he gets you the money that you deserve. And by the way, your homeowner's insurance company, they're trying to give you as little as possible. That's the job of the insurance adjuster. But the public adjuster, that's Avner Gatt, he works for you. He gets you the most money. Call him. 818-917-5256. 818-917-5256. You got problems? Avner Gatt's got solutions. You call. He answers the phone. You'll know it's him when you ring. Bring. Hello.
Hey football fans, there is nothing sweeter than a cold glass of Stella Rosa and watching your team compete. But Stella Rosa wants to make it even sweeter and hook you up with the chance to win an experience to the biggest game of the college football season. You could win 2 tickets to the game, airfare, and a hotel for you and a friend. Head over to ESPNLADreamTicket.com to enter the Dream Ticket Sweepstakes presented by Stella Rosa, America's favorite semi-sweet, semi-sparkling wine. Please celebrate responsibly. Must be 21 or older to enter.
Why thousands of sellers have chosen Seller's Advantage. Seller's Advantage is the fastest and the most stress-free way to sell your home. If you're ready to sell now, call Seller's Advantage. Get a no-obligation offer at 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-2747, sellersadvantage.com.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
This is the Rams Report. Here's Travis Rogers.
After the first 4 weeks of the season, the Rams find themselves in a very serious hole after a 24-18 loss to the Chicago Bears drops their record to 1-3. The Rams dominated in just about every statistical category that there is, getting more first downs than the Bears, getting better on third down than the Bears, more total yards, more offensive plays, and more yardage per play. But the categories that matter the most, turnovers, 2 for the Rams, none for the Chicago Bears, and of course on the scoreboard at 24-18. Kyron Williams, a good day on the ground, 19 carries, 94 yards. He did get into the end zone for a 7th consecutive game, averaging nearly 5 yards per play. Ronnie Rivers doing a good job on the ground as well. 6 carries, 26 yards, just a little over 4 yards per carry. The Rams drop to 1-3. Up next, the Green Bay Packers at SoFi Stadium. With Monday's Rams Report, I'm Travis Rogers.
That's today's Rams Report on your home of Rams football, 710 ESPN. Park, party, and play at Hollywood Park Casino. Join Travis Rogers and Kirk Morrison Sunday, October 6th for their live Rams postgame show from Ray's Lounge at Hollywood Park Casino. Win prizes and party with Travis, Kirk, and ESPN LA fans. Hollywood Park Casino is Los Angeles' premier card room casino and entertainment destination. Enjoy a postgame meal and drink at Ray's Lounge right after the game. Park, party, and play at Hollywood Park Casino. Elevate your game. Must be 21 and older.
Hey, it's Travis.
And DeMarco.
Hey, accidents can be shocking, devastating, and difficult to deal with, which is why you should never deal with them alone and have family on your side.
Joseph S. Normand and his trusted team are family, and they're here to help you achieve the maximum compensation you deserve.
You know, when my son was in an accident, we called Joseph at 213-747-2000, and he was able to help.
You have many choices in a legal team, but family always comes first.
Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000. the law offices of Joseph S. Normand.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-731-4558 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-731-4558 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-731-4558 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Sedano and Kap for your afternoon right now on 710 ESPN. It's 6:30 p.m. Big deal or no deal. Take it away, Sedano.
All right, Lindsay, you take it away.
All right, so Tom Brady, as we all know, calling games for Fox now. And he was on the call yesterday for the Tampa Bay Philly game. His first time, calling a game from his former team. And during the pregame broadcast, he was asked about Baker Mayfield's recent comments that Brady created a, quote, stressful environment during the 2022 season, which was his last with the Bucs. And Tom Brady sounds like he kind of took that personal. Here's what it sounded like.
Our guy here said, quote, they wanted me to come in, be myself, bring the joy back to football for guys who weren't having as much fun. It's funny because you've made this environment for me very stressful up here in the booth, so I understand where he's coming from.
Do you feel it?
No.
Feel the stress? No. Well, I was going to say, I thought stressful was not having Super Bowl rings. So there was a mindset of a champion that I took to work every day. This wasn't daycare. If I wanted to have fun, I was going to go to Disneyland with my kids.
Yeah, so
he's not done
as
yet.
You were saying, go ahead. That's you feel like I feel like there's more in there to say.
There's a way to approach this game, and it's that with the right mindset and try to push each other outside of our comfort zone. And great teammates do that. You come in, I have someone like Gronkowski, I have someone like Evans. There's high expectations for us. We got to make sure we go out there and deliver.
The competitive juice is still flowing,
still in there.
I love
no
it.
apologies.
So didn't Baker say something to the effect that his...
Well, if you would let me finish.
Okay, I was just helping you transition.
So Baker went on to throw for...
You don't need your help.
Well, wait, just let me finish because I want to get the whole story in here. So Baker ended up throwing for 347 yards in that game and a pair of touchdowns. He also rushed for a touchdown in Tampa Bay's 33-16 win over the Eagles. Sorry, D. And then after the game, Tom Brady actually ended up awarding Baker his weekly LFG Player of the Game, which is this thing I guess he's doing every week for his performance. So, is this public back and forth with these two guys a big deal or no deal?
Wait, but was he taken out of context or was he not?
What do you mean
Baker said he was taken out of context.
He was just he literally took the quote right. He was saying the whole thing in general was out of context. It wasn't like he said something different. Like they literally read a quote from Baker Mayfield. So it wasn't out of context by any means. He just meant like in the grand scheme of things. Okay. I don't think he meant it as... I guess he was trying to explain that he didn't mean it as a dig at Tom Brady.
Well, but he's not wrong. Tom Brady basically got Bruce Arians fired, or moved out of... Not fired. Moved out of the head coaching position because, God forbid, that Bruce Arians was trying to tell Tom Brady some things he thought about the quarterback position that Tom Brady didn't agree with, at least according to people in Tampa. That's how it allegedly played out. Now, I'm sure Tom has his own position on that. But yeah, I think if Baker is also right in some capacity, where when Tom left Tampa, it was not a hunky-dory situation, is what I would say, according to reports.
But to Tom's point, having fun.
Right, but they weren't good at the end.
Well, I mean,
they were in the playoffs.
I mean, they were like crappy though, in getting the playoffs, like getting bounced. Everyone knew they weren't going to win anything.
But he didn't want to. He won a
and
Super
they won
Bowl.
the worst division in football.
All I know is this. And
well, we know you're going to defend Tom.
Well, here's what I'm going to say. Baker Mayfield is how old? You think he is 26-ish?
No, he's like 32. Come on, he's 30. Let's say he's 30.
There's no way he's 30.
I think he's younger. I think he's in his like I'd say he's 26, 27, just somewhere in that neighborhood.
No, he's got to be older than that.
All right, well, we'll find
He's
out.
29.
Thank you. Here's the deal. You know what people who are 29 are? Especially nowadays? They're soft. See, guys from my generation.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's right. Here comes an old man take. Guys from my generation, guys like Tom Brady, we could be coached hard and we could deal with it. And by the way, we showed up every day ready to go, ready to be a pro. And by the way, if your feelings got hurt because you weren't having so much fun, well, sorry, you're making $15 million a year. We're here to win championships, not for you to have fun. And so when Baker Mayfield says this, I think to myself, how many Super Bowl rings do you have? How many Super Bowls have you played in? I'll take the Tom Brady way over the Baker Mayfield fun way, and I'll go have fun at Disneyland with my kids, with me and Tom walking around with our children at Disneyland. Soft.
I agree with you, Cap. I mean, at the end of the day, it's what would you prefer? Having fun, but not being, a Super Bowl championship team? Or, maybe it works a little hard, but you're going to win a Super Bowl.
And I agree with you, too. It's the same thing. I mean, I think they're soft.
Baker is soft. He's soft like Charmin, Pepe.
I mean, because, of course, you're going to be objective about Baker Mayfield.
Soft, George. Soft like Charmin.
I'm not the biggest Tom Brady fan, but I feel like you don't often hear of teams where it's like, oh, my God, we have the most fun, and then they go and win a Super Bowl. Like, it's hardcore. Like, it's not easy to win a Super Bowl. They don't say how hard it is.
And to all my 29-year-old brothers and sisters out there, bring your A game every day, okay? Life isn't always fun. When you wake up in the morning, understand life is hard, Jack.
It's tough.
Okay? Life is hard. So,
I mean, let's not make it seem like, again, the reference was to Tampa. They won the one Super Bowl because they had a bunch of hired guns on that first team, including Tom Brady, who were a bunch of mercenaries, okay, who wanted to just win a Super Bowl. Then after that, they weren't that good. They slowly but surely regressed every year to the point where, had they been in any other division in the NFC, they would have not made the postseason that last year. And for that high-strung attitude, which is the high-strung nature or stressed-out environment he created for the results not equaling those things, I think that's what he was referring to.
And that's why ultimately guys leave, which is why, like, for example, Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick had teams winning, and people put up with the way he was. And then all of a sudden, when they weren't winning, people were like, this sucks. And now, if you look at the New England Patriots, for example, I mean, the people who work there under Belichick who work there now, they're like, oh, the work environment is so much better. Yeah, but do you like winning?
I bet they're having a great time out in New England, right? Because it's not as high strong, right?
It's also rebuilding. Like, there's also that, too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it has nothing to do with that. They've completely torn the team down to the studs.
But when you get to the NFL where the best are playing, you expect for them to treat you like in cottons and things like that. Oh, pobrecito.
No,
I mean,
I don't think anyone expects that. I think what his point was what I just said, which is that stuff is great when you're winning, but when you're not winning, guys look at it and kind of roll their eyes.
That's being soft.
Yes.
I don't think it's being soft.
Explain it to him, Pepe.
I don't think it's being soft at all. I think it's just like, hey, bro,
soft like
how
Charmin,
about
Jack.
you be a little better even though you're 45 years old? Like, you're not as good as you think you were here at the end. You know what I mean? Like, there's also that part of the equation, too. Like, you were 45 years old, 46 years old, and, those passes weren't as crisp as they used to be. And, again, he's amazing, but it just is what it is.
Hey, Tom, I know you're cruising around listening right now. I love you, man.
I mean, listen, Tommy, I don't love you. How about that?
That's rude.
I don't.
That's wrong.
I'm going to break. I don't not love him, but I don't love him. Love is a strong word.
Well, when you say you don't not love him, and then you do love him.
No, I don't love him.
You should love him.
Why should I love him? I don't even know him.
I love him.
What do you know him?
I don't know him.
Why do you love him?
I love him. He's hot. I mean, that's number one.
I mean, you're the one sitting here saying I had Botox.
Well, are you accusing Tom Brady of having Botox?
I'm not saying anything. I'm saying you accused me of having Botox.
Did you?
Have you had?
I have
You can
not.
talk about it in dealer's choice, Cappy.
Do you have Botox?
If we get to it.
I don't look. See, my forehead, my forehead goes.
See, but you have to. I mean, like on radio.
Pepe, we got to take a break.
Okay.
Listen to Lindsay, okay?
Well, we're not gonna have enough time to do the next segment if we don't.
We will.
Tell him, Liz.
As sports, we got a lot of time.
Tell him,
Jason
Liz.
and Ireland gave us extra time today anyway. All right, hey, let me tell you about Jacob. You get into an accident, Pepe, you know you need to call Jacob at 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. Tell him Sedano Mason and the crew at 710 send you. As a sports fan, you always want your team to be well coached and to win. And you know who's always winning?
Tell me.
Getting you ready for that next opponent? That's right, my guy, Jacob.
Yeah, because he likes to win.
Think about it. You're injured in a car accident, truck accident, slip or fall, rideshare accident, whatever it is. You feel like you lost the game. Don't worry, the accident, that's just the beginning of the game. Call Jacob at 844-24-JACOB. Tell him Sedano, Mason, and the crew at 710 sent you. Get the free consultation, and you trust me. Look, Jacob, he knows the weakness of the opponent. He knows how to exploit and go on the attack against the insurance company and provide you, okay, with the victory you deserve. So to make sure you're on the winning team, if you're injured in an accident, don't wait. Call Jacob at 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. Tell him Sedano, Mason, and the crew at 710 sent you. Or visit them online at calljacob.com.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you
Hey,
back to
football
you.
fans, there is nothing sweeter than a cold glass of Stella Rosa and watching your team compete. But Stella Rosa wants to make it even sweeter and hook you up with the chance to win an experience to the biggest game of the college football season. You could win 2 tickets to the game, airfare, and a hotel for you and a friend. Head over to ESPNLADreamTicket.com to enter the Dream Ticket Sweepstakes presented by Stella Rosa, America's favorite semi-sweet, semi-sparkling wine. Please celebrate responsibly. Must be 21 or older to enter.
Team that's highly effective and successful because these folks come from a very diverse background in the insurance industry. For example, some of them used to work for insurance companies before they joined Avner's team. Yes, they actually chose to switch sides when they realized the effectiveness of Avner's team's work. Some of them used to be in the restoration business, rebuilding homes after disasters. Some of them used to be in the contents handling business, moving homeowners' belongings to a safe place for restoration and storage. Some of them were experts in hazardous materials handling, like asbestos and lead testing. That was their daily work. And some of them were members of law firms handling bad faith claims and general business disputes. You see, diversification is the name of the game. When you are represented by Avner Gatt's team, you have the entire team's experience and know-how by your side. No one, and I mean no one, messes with Avner Gatt and his team. So call Avner Gatt right now, 818-917-5256, 818-917-5256. That's AvnerGatt.com, AVNERGAT, AvnerGatt.com. When you call him directly, Avner Gatt and his family, they take the calls themselves. Avner Gatt says, hello.
Join Mason and Ireland Wednesday, October 2nd from noon to 3 at Ralph's on Hawthorne Boulevard in Redondo Beach. Come see Lakers legend James Worthy for a meet and greet and enter ESPN LA's Ultimate Winery Sweepstakes for a wine country experience at Francis Ford Coppola Winery.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
That's the ease at which you get information. You want it, you get it. Like that. Ask your phone. Group chat. Smartphone. You're always connected and informed in real time. No waiting. So if you're diabetic and still using finger sticks to read your blood sugar, what are you waiting for? Knowing your blood sugar levels instantly is important for managing diabetes. Call US Med at 888-665-0696. To learn more about continuous glucose monitors, a real-time instant method to track your blood glucose, US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 1,000 private insurers. And the best part? Call 888-665-0696 and we'll give you a free insurance benefits check today. So call 888-665-0696 today. That's 888-665-0696 and manage your diabetes as easy as...
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
Hey, it's Mace. NBA basketball is 22 days away, and the best place to watch all the action is Cosm. It's revolutionary technology bringing the sports experience to life. Visit Cosm.com. Enjoy NBA action in shared reality all season long.
And it is Sedano Kap. Final segment on this Monday Night Football Monday night, live from the Commerce Casino. It is time for the real deal final segment of the show. Thanks to our friends at Seller's Advantage. Cappy's got dealer's choice and all the accoutrement in just a moment. Want to sell your house? Before you call an agent, call Seller's Advantage. They'll buy it as is with a competitive cash offer. No repairs needed. They make selling easy. Call 888-390-AS-IS for a no-obligation offer or visit sellersadvantage.com. DRE number 0196-1658. Let's do it. Final segment of the show. The real deal final segment right now.
She stood there bright as the sun on that California coast.
Hey, thanks to Pepe for hanging out with us today, Pepe. Thank you for hanging.
Muchas gracias, Pepe.
Thank you. Always nice to be here with you.
Thanks to the Circle, the people who showed up today. Shout out.
Hey, shout out to the Circle.
Happy birthday,
the Wolfpack.
Thanks.
Hey, Lindsay, how's that cake?
Delicious.
I had a second helping.
It was so good.
I had
Really
another
good.
small slither.
Really good.
Yeah.
That's good cake right there.
Good job, Cappy.
That's good
Yeah.
pie.
Good job, Cap.
Yeah.
Nothing
Thank
but
you.
cake.
I love that cake. I like the red velvet. I didn't know the red velvet was chocolate. I thought they just put little chocolate chips in there. I did
You
not
were
know.
so excited. You were like, yeah, man, they put chocolate chips in the
Right.
red velvet.
And then you ruined it for me. It's like you told me wrestling was fake.
Well,
or
I
something.
didn't know that it was chocolate either.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, no, it's just chocolate with red dye.
Hey, none of us knew that.
See, Jorge is full of surprises today.
Yes, he is.
I am.
Yes, he is indeed.
All right, Cappy, what do you got?
Well,
You got 3 minutes.
I do.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you guys about something that happened this weekend. And I really thought maybe I shouldn't mention this on the air. But I think I probably should just say something. So this weekend, George, as I was getting ready to go to the USC game, I drove from South LA into downtown LA. I parked in my parking spot, you know, the one downstairs in the garage at LA Live that has my name on it.
Yeah.
So I parked there. What?
There's nothing with your name on it.
There is
Unless
a
your
parking,
name says Herbalife.
There's a parking spot that says
Scott
my name
Herbalife
on it.
Kaplan?
No, it has my name.
AG?
No, I wrote my name on the pillar right next to the spot that I park on,
Okay.
and it says parking for me. So anyway, I get there, and Morales wants to take an Uber from downtown LA over to the Coliseum. I suggest that we should take the train.
Very good.
Okay, public transportation.
See?
Right? Morales, you had to see him. He was so scared to get on the train. Because, you know, the train is filled with, like, real people. You know, I mean, it is not.
Really?
Oh, yeah, Pepe. I mean, you see.
Oh, he has just texted us now. Says, what are you talking about, you asshat?
What do you mean? This guy was so
He's
afraid.
so mad right now.
He was so afraid.
I bet you he's going to say you're the one that was afraid.
Well, of course that's what he's going to say.
Yeah.
That's
But you're
why-
saying that's completely false.
That's why I'm saying this now. Like I said, I thought about not saying anything, but he was so scared on the train. You know, there's all kinds of people. Black
Wait, but doesn't
people,
he go on the train?
White people.
Doesn't he go on the train every day?
I don't think he does, man.
He goes on the train to Orange County every day.
No, I don't think so. No. That's a different train, George.
Okay, I get it.
The Amtrak is a different train than the Metro in downtown LA.
Going to the game.
All kinds of people, black people and white people and Hispanic people and Asian people and big people and small people.
We get it.
And
Yeah.
All kinds of people. I guess my point is all kinds of people. And some of these people can be scary. And let me tell you something. I tell Morales, I go, Morales, I go, listen to me.
He's so mad right now.
I say to Morales, I go, listen.
Oh, wait until tomorrow, he says.
I say to Morales, I go, I will protect you. You have nothing to worry about. I will protect you. It was red already. Oh, you want me to do it again? All right, so listen, I just wanted to say that in advance because I know Morales tomorrow will try and turn the whole thing on me.
Yeah.
But you've now heard the reality.
You want to get ahead of it.
Right, you've heard the reality.
Yeah, the propaganda.
Hey, if you want to sell your house before you call an agent, call Seller's Advantage. They'll buy it as is with a competitive cash offer. No repairs needed. They make selling easy. Call 888-390-AS-IS for a no-obligation offer or call sellersadvantage.com. DRE number 0196165.